The Magic Podcast. Hosted by Lloyd Barnes and Craig Petty. Your all-access, behind-the-scenes insight into the current happenings of the magic industry. Where Craig and Lloyd will thrust themselves deep inside your ears every Wednesday to rant, dissect, and give you their raw and unfiltered views on the art of magic. So, lock your door, take out your deck, and brace yourself for the Magic Podcast.
Hey, my name's Craig Petty, and I'm here to say that Lloyd Barnes is a sheep-shabbing motherfucking twat.
Well, I'm here to say that Craig Petty looks like somebody put children's glasses on a goblin's head and dragged it through a charity thrift store in dirty clothes.
It is very true.
And then cosplayed him as a pedophile.
I am well aware that my head looks like a comedy scrotum. I am 100% aware of this. But yeah, you know, that I was just trying the new insulting thing that you wanted to do as an intro, and I'm vibing this. I'm thinking it's working. But people are watching this, Lloyd, one day later. They're watching it on the Thursday because we didn't want to disturb people's New Year's Eves, which means when they're listening to this, it's New Year's Day. And I just want to say a happy New Year. Bring on 2026, motherfucker. I'm excited. This is a brand new year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Do you know what, though? I don't give a fuck about being a New Year. It's just Thursday. No offense to people who love the New Year stuff, but 2026 is going to be massive. Like with all the exciting stuff we were just talking about, it's going to be huge. But I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but this before it's like, oh yeah, it's New Year. It's like maybe it's because I've lost weight, so it's like I don't have I have no New Year.
You're not got a thing.
New Year's resolution. I completed it a fucking year early, so who cares? It's just Thursday.
Well, we're filming this on New Year's Eve in the morning at 8 a.m. in the morning. What are you doing to celebrate New Year's Eve? I'll tell you right now.
Chinese and a wank.
Chinese and a wank. That sounds like the perfect fucking, that sounds like the perfect fucking. Whoa, yeah, boom, yeah.
That's the ending. What are you doing to celebrate it?
I'm with Ryland and Thea doing a Greatest Showman themed illusion show at Drayton Manor for all of their, their big room. We're going to be, I'm basically around about midnight. I'm just going to be packing away boxes after sawing my kids in half.
You literally have the coolest life on the planet. Your kids, when they grow up, they don't realize how lucky they are to have a dad like you.
I was at Butlins yesterday. So I was working Butlins Minehead on the main stage of Butlins. And that's a kind of a big deal. A lot of acts never get to do the main stage of Butlins. And I turned around to Thea, and Thea's only been doing magic for the last year. Her first show was on New Year's Eve last year. And I turned around to her and I said, Thea, just think about this for a minute. You've been doing magic for 1 year. And here you are on stage with me, on the main stage, with me and Thomas on the main stage as part of this illusion show. We just walked off stage. Everyone freaking loved it. Redcoats loved it. Everybody loved it. I'm like, that was you, Thea. That was you right here after a year. There's some magicians that will go their entire life wishing they'd go on this stage and never get a chance. And you're here after a year. I have to pinch myself sometimes because the experiences they're getting, I wish I had them when I was their age.
Yeah, it's pretty epic. And I think also as well, it's just spending a lot of quality time with you.
Yeah.
You don't realize it, like how few kids get to do stuff like that. And it's just wicked, man.
I speak to a lot of magicians and they go, I wish I could get my kid into it. All he's into is Minecraft and stuff like that. And I'm totally aware that I'm so lucky because I get to share my passion with both of my kids and we'll sit around for hours, just coming up with routines and ideas and maybe we can do this to Thea and stuff and it's amazing. It's amazing. If I never performed again in my life, but I got to do that side of things with my kids, that I'm good.
Yeah, what more do you want? Like people say, the search for the meaning of life. That's kind of it.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Anyway, let's not be sentimental. Let's talk some. Well, it's fitting. I know you did your best product of the year video yesterday.
I've also got a best book of the year. I've got a best book video of the year coming out in a couple of days because there's been some amazing books that have come out this year. So I wanted to do a separate video on books, and I've read a lot of the books. I got the Conover books from Sarah for Christmas,
Have you
so
read them?
I started reading them. They're fucking incredible. I didn't get the deluxe edition. Got the standard edition because she's a
That's
cheap.
because she doesn't love you, but
She
at least you
doesn't.
got
Yeah.
some form.
I said to her, if you loved me, you would give me the fucking deluxe edition. And if they didn't have them, you would go and knock on Andy Gladwin's door and you would get them for me. This is fucking bullshit, but you know, it is what it is. It's my cross to bear. But there's been some amazing books. There's been some amazing books that have come out this year. So I'm doing a top 10 book list that's coming out later on, and the worst tricks of 2025 as well. That's always
No.
yeah, and it's
I
for the
always
first.
forget that you see you do these amazing things like the best book of the year, and there's like just to fuck people over. I can't even think what would be the worst trick of the year. Or the
Well,
worst.
I'll tell you, N2G appear on that list a fair bit.
Haven't they put out some good stuff though this year? Well, clearly
Yeah,
not.
yeah, they have, but they've also brought out some bullshit, and also their trailers, their tutorials are terrible, and they kind of lie about a lot of the stuff that they're doing. Like N12, their latest thing, it describes it as an easy coin trick. Yeah, it's easy. The starting position on the tutorial, which is 4 minutes, by the way, 4 minute tutorial. The starting position is have four half-dollar size coins classic palmed and have a shell finger palmed in your right hand. They don't tell you how to get into that position. And that's the starting position. And they describe that as easy. And they don't tell you how to do it or anything because it's a 4 minute tutorial. Suck my dick. Fuck off. Ridiculous.
Good start. Have you filmed that video yet?
Yeah.
I have. I can think of two phenomenal tricks that would shock people if they went on that list.
What would that be?
Well, I'll tell you after this.
Okay. Okay.
But if I were you, I'd consider adding them in.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
they went under the radar without getting too exposed by people, and anyone that bought them went like in like the group chats were like going fucking crazy for how bad they were and how much bad advertising there was.
Mm.
So
Yeah, there's been some shit, but I just want to give recognition to somebody genuinely because this is the first year since I started doing Magic TV that Peter Eggink has not appeared on that list. So congratulations. It's because he didn't bring a trick out in 2025, but whether it's because he didn't fucking release something or whether it's like his output is improved, the fact is the motherfucker kept off the list. Well done, Peter Eggink. One way or another, you're improving. I mean, you're improving by keeping the fuck away from the dealer's shelves, but regardless, you're not on the list. Congratulations, buddy.
God damn. What were some of your best tricks of the year then? Because I haven't watched it. I mean, it came out like 18 hours ago.
Yeah, I filmed this at the beginning of December because I've been so busy. So we batched a lot of stuff. So let me see if I can find it.
You need to do an updated video for that. Be like, because December had some bangers.
I might do a top 10 of December stuff because there is.
No, what you should do is the updated. You should do the updated list, or say like completed list, or like full, updated or completed list.
That's actually a good idea. I'm trying to find it. I don't know if I've still got it. Let me have a look. I've got it somewhere. I don't know where. I can't remember everything that's on there. Number one was the button. That was definitely number one.
Yeah.
Pretty high up, we had eject.
Oh fuck, that's so good too.
Yeah, pretty high up, we had eject. By Trick Boom, and I love that. Like I've been using that in every single close-up gig, and I think a lot of people have been put off by the price, but
really?
It's over 100 quid for one moment of magic when you think about it. It's like, but that moment of magic is so awesome because
but it's like you look at the price and it's a quick moment of magic, but how much of an impact is it making your show? Like, for example, like Tobias, I'm trying to think of like a wacky trick that kind of fits the same bill. Tobias Dostal, Stay Cool. That's kind of like, I mean, there is the color change, but the main thing is the glasses appearance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, it's the glasses appearance. That is like if that was £100, right? And obviously it came with like a different type of game. I'm just trying to find a comparison. It wouldn't matter. Like, it's because it's a memorable, what the fuck moment. Like I don't know. Maybe as I get older, price tags don't mean so much depending on if I'm going to use it or not, you know?
Yeah. And I'm using it in like every show. Ryland and
Yeah.
Thea are using it on the stage as well. It's really fucking cool.
Wow.
They've got this whole matter transporter thing where they've got two massive squared circles that we've designed them with LEDs and everything and a flux capacitor, so it looks like it's a fucking time machine. And they come out in white coats as if they're doing this science experiment. And there's two tables, and Thea's behind one table and Ryan's behind the other table. And you're like, look, we've worked out the secrets to teleportation. I've got fucking four fucking ejects built into this, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. But they can both show the tube empty. They can both. And Guy Barrett built these fucking squared circles. So we're not talking like a little thing. This is like a custom design thing. So it really looks empty. But then Ryland's talking about, so this is what we've developed. We've developed this technology where if you drop a pen over here and here, it jumps out there. It instantly transports over to this side because there's so many ejects. It jumps back and it goes back and forth.
Fuck
And I've got a
off.
jet fountain built into one of them. So he takes a deck of cards and springs it into this box and they fly out the box over there that Thea's in. He takes a Rubik's Cube and drops it in that box over there and it fires a Rubik's Cube up in there. It's this whole fucking teleportation routine. It's fucking incredible.
What
It's
the
so
fuck? That sounds. I want to see that routine.
really good. And
I
it's all based on eject. The starting point was eject, and then we built it
I wonder
up
if you
there.
could use eject for like having. Imagine like you get somebody up on stage to. I don't know. I'm just thinking. Like I'm thinking of a routine like where you imagine like you pop a balloon, but with it's got a balloon with a ribbon on it, and then inject right in line, and you pop a balloon, and then as you do, it shoots at the same time. It shoots the Sharpie up, so it looks like the Sharpie was in a balloon from the very beginning. That could have been like
Oh,
examined
that's
by the audience.
nice.
Maybe you pass the balloon around, so they shake it. You put it on stage, no switches. You burst it in a Sharpie or something like that. I don't know. Instead of like doing a teleportation thing, it's more of like an impossible.
Well, one of the things that I don't know if you've seen the tutorial, but a couple of things on the tutorial are great. I think it's Matt Edwards has this idea of having a pen loaded into eject with a card kind of pierced over the pen. So the pen is between is it looks like the pen has gone
That's
through
so
a card.
good.
Yeah.
Fuck
And
off. That's so good.
so it goes into a box and he drops the cards into the box. The cards fly up in the air because there's a card fountain in there. As they do, a second later, the pen comes out and he catches it and it's their card on the pen, which is just fucking incredible.
Wow. Why was that not in the trailer?
I think it was, but
Okay.
only like 1 second, so it was very easy to miss.
I've only watched the trailer like once because I already know how good it is. I wonder if you could use it for a pen switch somehow, like where you know you have a Sharpie in full view that stays in full view for a while. Then over here you load a signed bill into a Sharpie, but you can do it like fairly away. And at some point you take this pen and use it as like a shuttle pass. You know, it's like you toss the pen up in the air and then you sleeve one or just drop one off camera and the other one just goes up as if I don't know. But just a way to switch it.
That's funny. And this is the thing. It's the sort of thing that works for kids entertainers. You know, you can have a puppet in a box and you put the puppet in the box and it keeps throwing the pen out at you. You can do it as a close-up magician, you know, just having a pen appear as you do walk around. You can do it on stage. There's so many different ways you can do it. In the trailer, they've got this moment where there's this double act, and the one guy opens the other guy's trousers and drops a pen down, and he does a thrusting action, and then the pen comes flying out of their jeans and stuff. Like, there's just so many creative people.
I remember reading Daniel Madison's Advocate book 10, 15 years ago or something, and there was a really good routine idea from Blaine in there, which said you have someone name a card, you secretly retrieve it from the index. And then the idea was to, and it wasn't a fleshed out idea, it's like, this is the presentation. The presentation idea was that you somehow like boomerang it, like you're talking to someone, so you there by here so that you've got your arm blocked. And then you try and boomerang it above your head. So they name a card, you steal it out, put it in your hand, and you're like, okay, watch this. And then you boomerang it, so it makes it look like it just rains down from the sky, the card they named. And I wonder if you could do that sort of thing. If you had eject somehow under your shirt here, so if you tilt it forward a little bit, You say like, oh, I don't know, like we need to get a Sharpie. Let's put our hands together and let's see if we can make one rain out of this. So instead of it looking like it shoots out of somewhere, you make it look like it falls from the sky using eject. Maybe I don't know.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, there's so much you can do with it. I think creatively, there's so many. That's why so many people love it.
Yeah. It's just so much fun, isn't it? You could come up with a million different routines. But the button by Chris James, huge contender for the top spot for me as well, if not the top spot. It solves so many problems, so well made.
I am so glad that I was involved in that project. Like I'm so thankful to Chris and Jared.
I completely not I feel terrible. I forgot that you are like the face of the project, really.
Yeah, I created all the routines for it with Chris. We came up with all the routines together, and then I did all the live performances and the tutorial. Went out to Portugal and filmed it all. And I get so many people saying to me, "Will you be on my project? Will you be on my project?" And 90% of them I have to turn around down because I just haven't got time. But the second that Chris said to me, "This is what it is," I was like, "Fucking dude, I'm all in. This is an incredible idea. Whether I'm attached to it or not, this is an incredible idea. If I can just add a little bit of value, then I will." And the button is fucking incredible. It is so good. It really is.
Yeah, it's amazing. What a great effect. But I wonder, like, it seems like I bet it did really well in the UK for like that wedding restaurant gigging market as well.
Yeah.
Specifically targeting those people for it. What other things were in your? Do you know? For me, I think my top release is probably outside of like our own stuff.
Yeah, I didn't include any of our material in the list. I was like, it's not
you made
fair.
an entirely separate video for that.
Of course, I fucking did. Craig the Ego Petty. Why not?
Well, I mean, if you're putting out your own material, that's the difficult thing. My favorite creations or products this year or whatever is my own stuff. It's because it's designed specifically for me. Like, it can't get any better because it's tailor-made. But I think the thing that I've used the most this year other people's has been Not ESP by Jake Keane.
It is incredible. I remember first seeing that Blackpool last year. We were sitting in the Hive restaurant opposite the Winter Gardens, and Jake just walked in and he showed it me, and I just, like, I'm a pretty knowledgeable guy. I had nowhere to fucking go with this. Like, nowhere to fucking go. I couldn't even begin to understand how that method would work because I was holding the phone. The way he did it, I was holding the phone. And I'm like, how is this even possible? This isn't even possible. It's such a fucking incredible trick. It really is.
It's just like it's creative genius meets simplicity, in the best way. And I think it made Mark Elsden's Mark Elsden does the metabolic fig.
Yeah.
You read it or not, it's the best for me. It's the best resource, at least for the product industry, if not in general, that you can like subscribe to in Magic. Mark Elsden's metabolic fig.
100%.
And I think he named Not ESP. I would like he did it. So he went through 52 releases throughout the year. Because every week he sends you a newsletter with like 6 to 10, if not more, new products and what he thinks about them and ideas. It's really, really, really powerful, really good. And it looks like he chose the best product from every week, and then made a 52 best of list, and the best app was Not ESP.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not surprised. It's really, really good. Although it went under the radar a little bit, but your ACAN app.
Oh, well, I didn't release it really. I mean, it's on my Patreon, and I don't.
Yeah, I know, but that you could sell that for like 40 quid, 50 quid easily. And the fact is, you join the Patreon and you get that just as one of the millions of things that you have for joining the Society of Secrets. I mean, that app alone is just fucking incredible. I've got that on my phone. I've got Not ESP on my phone, and they're both great. That is such
I try, and I don't know if I'm lacking self-awareness here. I talk about my Patreon, but I try not to advertise it. So when I launched it, it came out with a video trailer. And every now and then I'll if I put up a YouTube video and it's a Fuller episode, every few Fuller episodes, one of them will be a performance of a trick on my Patreon.
Makes sense.
But I really try not to force it down people's throats or advertise it. And I've got so many members. It blows my mind how many people are subscribed to it. And I wonder if it's because I don't forcefully ram it down people's throats, you know? But
And also,
yeah,
I
there's
think,
so many
yeah, but I
hidden
think
gems
the
on there,
other
like little
thing
apps and
is
stuff.
the quality has remained. I think that with a lot of these things, the quality degrades over time and
Yeah.
you don't get what you were promised initially. But the thing with the Society of Secrets, you're always putting great stuff up for free. And that's the
I
main thing.
don't post every single week on there, but I make sure when I post it's something like really, really I want it so that, and I'm really proud of it, but it's like it's over 52 things on there at the minute. Every single one of them is something I'm like mega proud of, and it's like way too good to like just give away.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about actually what other releases of the were there.
Oh God, I'm trying to remember. Tennis by Alex Ning flew under the radar, but that is something that I'm doing in every single cabaret show.
What is the effect? Because I remember I've seen it talked about quite a lot, and I've seen the trailer. And like, is it object and
It's
tennis
basically,
balls?
so how I use it is I bring out a tennis ball and I say to somebody, we're going to throw it out randomly. I want to catch it. So they catch it. And I say, great. Deck of cards is made up of red and black cards. Would you like a card? Would you like this card to be red or black? Red. Okay, brilliant. No problem. Throw it again. Okay, so it throws it again to somebody else. Right. Okay, so we have black over there. That's clubs and spades. Which suit would you like? Clubs. Brilliant. Throw it to somebody else. Um, Ace through to king. There's 13 values. Which one would you like? Six. Okay. Six of clubs. And there's no limitation. You know, like a lot of these things are pick pictures or numbers. Oh, you want pictures? You know what I mean? Or, you know, Daniel Garcia had that thing where he's going like this. None of that. There's no limitation. They can name any one of the 52 cards. The last person who caught the ball, you get them to come up on stage. They're holding the tennis ball. You take it off them and hold it at the tips of your fingers, and you say, now, what I didn't tell you is that this ball is not a tennis ball. It actually opens up like Pac-Man. And when you open it up, it hinges at the back, so it opens up. And there's a card inside. You say, take the card. You guys between you created the six of clubs. Open it up. And it's the six of clubs. It's stronger than the invisible deck, in my opinion. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah, that sounds insane.
And effectively, what it is, and they're very honest about this, so I don't mind tipping the method. It is a custom-made tennis ball that you could hold and you would not think is a special tennis ball. But it hinges open. If you know where to open it, it hinges open. And on the logo, the black line under the logo is actually a slot.
Nice.
So you can take a palmed card and it just goes in there like butter. So you get an index, a really clever index for folded up cards, all 52 cards. He has them in his trouser pocket. I have them in my case. And I take the tennis ball out of a tube. So I have a tube that tennis balls are in. And I take the tennis ball out the tube and I throw it in the audience. And I'm holding the tube as I'm talking. And as the last person comes in, I just put the tube in the case and I steal the card at that point. So that's my justification to go there. And then it opens up. But there's so much other stuff you can do. You can load a Mercury carded folded card in there, and it doesn't even have to be a good Mercury card fold. So the other way I'm using it, I've got two of them. I use it in the chop cup routine as the final load. But before the chop cup routine, I've had someone pick a card and it gets lost in the deck. It's actually in my pocket, Mercury card folded. I do this chop cup routine. At the end, there's a tennis ball. But the tennis ball is actually got, I say it's not a real tennis ball. Look, and you open
Why
it
didn't
up.
you do it with a signed bill? Because you could talk, because it ties directly into the chop cup.
There's routines on there about signed bills as well. Yeah, you can do it with a signed bill.
So like, if you do a chop cup plus a signed bill.
Yeah.
Know,
Yeah.
because it makes sense. You're like, oh, this is all Barbet. I'll put my money down, but you sign it. We'll
That's
come
a good
back
idea.
to the money later, hold it in this.
I don't use the chop cup routine with the signed bill, but I should try that. But
yeah.
It's so well made. Put it this way, I've got three of them because I don't want to ever lose it or break it. Not that it's ever broken. It's fucking robust as hell. But I don't want to ever be in a situation where I haven't got it and Henry doesn't, have them anymore. So whenever I love something that much, I get more than one of them. I've got three just sitting on my shelves just in case. I think this thing is amazing. And it's flown under the radar. I don't think the trailer fully explains how good it actually is. But it's
yeah, because I remember watching the trailer and it was really hard to just get through.
yeah.
Oh, man, we said this before. So many good tricks just like die a death by not being advertised well enough.
Yeah.
Not that they did a bad job, but something didn't work in that trailer for me.
I had the Materializer wallet by Penguin Magic on there.
Oh yeah, have you got one? Is it any good?
Oh, it's incredible. I'm taking it to every gig at the moment. It's so fucking
Oh,
good.
sick. Yeah,
It's
I know a lot of people were working on exactly the same idea. In fact, one of them.
yes, I know one of them. Very good
Well,
mutual
two of
friend of
them.
ours. Yeah, two of them. There's a few people that worked on it that who I, I think that Chick Chick Boom were working on one as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the second that because I did a video from Penguin showing this thing just before Penguin's Black
Uh,
Friday, and I had a phone call from Noel Qualter going, "Fuck," he'd got a prototype and everything. So I think they
yeah.
just pipped. But yeah, a lot of people working on the same thing, but they. Penguin did not half-arse it. It looks like a really super thin wallet. It looks really good. I love the fact that you can use it as a peak. However, they've really focused on the fact that you can materialize an object in there. I've
Yeah.
been using it for angle Z, and I've been using it to have a torn corner just appear right there in the wallet that's happening because it's a 10-second delay. So I can put the wallet in their hand. There's nothing there. I tear the corner off the card. I go watch, and then they look down and there was nothing in that wallet, and now the card's there, the corner of the card, and they
Yeah.
open it up and they take it out themselves and they match it. That's fucking magic right there.
Yeah, it's real magic. It's real magic. As long as you don't I would use it in like the same way as you do. I wouldn't have them. Well, do you make sure that they don't look at it as it happens? Like it happens like
Yes, it happens completely. Yeah, it's kind of that Gary Jones omnideck mentality of, it's happening in their hand but they can't
yeah.
see
Well, the
it.
thing is, I think if they watch it happen, I think the wallet's dodgy. But if it just appears there, then it's a lot more innocent.
Yeah.
It's just a holder for it.
But there was some great stuff that came out in 2025, Lloyd, that didn't make the list and should have. And I did a top 15. I couldn't bring it down to 10, did top 15. But I could very easily have done a top 30. Like there's some magic, I mean, yeah, there's some shit that came out, even without Peter Egging around. There's some shit that came out, but there's some really good magic that's come out this year. Some
Yeah.
really good magic. Like 2025 has been a good year. I mean, obviously you've seen that yourself at Murphy's. I mean, I know you don't see everything that comes in, but there's been some really good stuff. Some really good stuff.
Yeah, there's been some
Um,
amazing things. It's hard to what the difficulty I have in my mind is capping off when a trip like okay, what was this year, what was the year before, and what blends into like starting at precisely January 1st in terms of release because we see so much from behind the scenes and we see what's being released, weeks and months in advance, kind of all blurs into one. So I'm trying to think of what was released starting January 1st last year
yeah,
to now, and then like for example, eject. I saw that at the session year before last, or maybe
yeah.
last full year ago. Maybe, or was it year before? I don't know. But like you know what I mean. I've seen that a long time ago. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, for me, it was not ESP. The button by Chris James is fucking phenomenal. Eject's really good. Eject's fucking phenomenal. I don't know if I was to do a list of my favorite tricks of the year, which I might do. Maybe it's a bit too late now, but I might do it. I don't know if I could put a top 10 in order. It would have to be like, here's my favorite tricks in
Yeah,
alphabetical order because it depends on my situation. Like if I'm in a situation, some situation, the button is going to be superior to any trick I could perform because it could be a group of lads or people, it's a loud environment or something, where I want more fun. If I'm in a coffee shop and I want I want to fool the pants off someone, I'm going to do not ESP. So it depends on my situation. So I don't think I could do a numerical top 10, but it would be the best 10 in alphabetical order. I think I'd have to go.
I'll tell you right now, and I'm not just saying this because you're my friend. I'm really not. And I hope you know that. I think if you ever get around to releasing the Vanishing Elephants, that'll be the trick of 2026 if you can get that around. No, like I am so fucking hyped for that. It's the best thing ever. So Ryland, I told him that you're going to have some at the session. and he's got his hopefully don't know if you are,
Yeah, no, I've
but
definitely got some ready for the
great.
session,
We'll
but
put one
they're
away
all
for Ryland
handmade.
because I showed him the video of you doing it. I hope you don't mind. And obviously he was at the YMC and watched the lecture of you explaining it, and he's like, him and Thea have put this whole act together on stage where he's going to have a table set up on stage that's just like lit with one light, and he's going to talk about the classic illusionists made. Well, I don't want to say, made elephants disappear. Watch, and he's going to do it all to music. Your piece, and he say, of course, the problem is that's a little bit small. We're on a big stage, and he's going to do a costume change where Thea changes then into an elephant costume, and he's going to put her in a cage, vanish her from the cage and make her appear on the other side of the stage, and kind of replicate.
Whoa.
Yeah, like we're really fucking excited about this, and I think that I genuinely think it's going to be trick of the year if you can get this
Shit.
fucking thing out. It's the best thing you've
I
ever
don't want
done.
to say anything,
It's the
but I'm
best thing you've
so
ever done. It's the best thing you've
it's
ever done.
I say this about every big thing, but this is my favorite trick I've ever created. There's something about it. I don't know. When people, I've shown it to so few people, but when I do show it to people, it's yeah, it's a bit of a different. It's very, very different. I don't know. Well, I don't. Oh yeah, I can't really. I feel I've. Let's just cross. I'm ending my session lecture with it, which is well, the session convention coming up in 12 days.
It is 12 days. So I'll tell you something. First of all, those old school motivational bullshit seminars where at the end you go, run to the back of the room because the course isn't going to be £5,000. It's not going to be £3,000 today and today only. For the first 15 people, it's going to be 1,000. And you see this room full of people, and people are elbowing each other out the way to get to the back of the room, right? And people are hitting grannies and beating the shit out of them because they want to get there to get that. That is going to be the scene at the session after your lecture. I'm telling everybody.
I thought you were on about something else then.
I'm telling everybody, you wanna make sure that you've got money ready because I'm not just bullshitting you. This fucking trick is amazing.
Well, I'll tell you the thing. Thank you. Like, when I wasn't planning to release it because it's so hard to make them. I lectured at the Magic Circle at the J-Day convention.
You had none. You just showed them the trick and went through how it
Yeah,
worked.
I did. I didn't have any. Yeah, I didn't have any style. I just showed it to them because it was. I just thought it was fun. I felt like it had something very special about it, but I wasn't. I needed to test it on stage.
My favorite thing, by the way, I never told you this during your lecture. I was at the back of the room with all of the like top brass, the Magic Circle. I was there with like Michael J. Fitch and Lee Hathaway and all of those guys. And when you did this elephant trick, they were like, and when you were explaining it, they were like,
Fucking hell.
It
makes me feel so nervous. Well, anyway, I did that. I got like a bit of a standing ovation as I explained it, and then Kaylee was there, and she had shitloads of people run up to her and was like, "Can I buy it now? Can I get it off you now? Can I buy it now?" And afterwards, we were driving home. She's like, "I don't know what you think about this, but you should probably put this out because she's been to a lot of my lectures and things. Well, I've done a few lectures, but she's been to a lot of conventions with me, and she sees like people coming up and asking for stuff and things, but she got like accosted for it, and she's like, I've never seen that with you, Lloyd.
I had people coming up to me just because I knew you saying, can I get a vanishing elephant? I'm like, no, he doesn't fucking make
I think it's been an obsession since I first saw Siegfried and Roy do a version of it. I mean, a complete primitive version of it on TV. So I've been working on versions of it since then, and I seen then the spark was lit under my arse, seeing a guy called Man in Liverpool do his. He has a version purely just with like, I don't want to spoil it, but it's a sleight of hand that goes with the story, and it's the most inspiring thing I've ever seen. And then I was like, oh God, I just love it so much. And then I was like, how would I do it the Lloyd Barnes way kind of thing? I don't know. It's one of those tricks. It kind of doesn't even feel like the Lloyd Barnes way in a sense. It's like very, I don't know. But I don't want to talk about it too much, to be honest with you. I get so embarrassed.
I know you do. I know you don't like compliments, but I don't care on this one. I have to shout it out, man. It's
biggest
so
thing
funny.
coming up is the session convention. It's in.
I was speaking to Andy. Gladwin the other day,
Ooh.
and Yeah, I mean, hats off to the Vanishing Ink team. They are fucking dead. I also want to give right. I know I take the piss out of Andy and Josh on this podcast quite a lot about how they roll around in money and they've got a money pit and everything. I
They're like
do,
that guy in Breaking Bad who just lays there like an egg on
yeah,
snow
yeah,
angels with piles of cash.
yeah. Andy Gladwin wipes his arse on £50 notes. Let's be honest, right?
Deservedly
Okay.
so.
Yeah, because he's worked fucking hard for it. But I don't want to take. I don't want to like I want to make it perfectly clear that the guy, both Andy and Josh, do a lot for fucking Magic as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other Magic convention that does sponsorships for young magicians.
That was
Like,
something they were speaking about at the Magic Circle. They came up to the desk and was like, "I said, are you going to be at the session?" And the kids were saying, "Oh yeah, hopefully I've applied for the sponsorship scheme."
yeah, so they do free sponsorships where, like, they will have you come along for free, but all they need in return. Do you know how to qualify for this?
No.
They need that young magician to have performed in some capacity on a charity show where they've raised money for charity,
Amazing.
and they give proof to Vanishing Ink that they've done that. Then they get into the sponsorship. How
Amazing.
fucking good is that? Like,
Amazing.
that tells you the type of people that we're dealing with here. They don't have to do that. The session's going to sell out. The session's going to do fucking incredible, regardless of whether they do that or not. Then they have the junior youth events because they want to have something specifically for the young magicians. And the reason I bring this up is because um, I completely forgot to get tickets for the session. And I got an email off Vanishing Ink going, it's almost sold out. And I was like, shit, I'll text Andy. So I text Andy. Now, Thea can't come because she's got a gig, believe it or not. She's actually got 2 gigs that weekend, but Ryland can come. So I said, look, did I miss the sponsorship? I completely forgot about the sponsorship. I can send you anything that you need. Did I miss the sponsorship? And he said, yeah, you missed the sponsorship. But I tell you what, you buy a ticket for the session and Ryland can come as our guest. It's on me and Josh. And they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that. That gives you another example of what they're like. So, when people talk about how Andy Gladwin is rich as shit, he is. However, you have to understand that he does a lot for Magic and he does a lot for the community, and he especially does a lot for young magicians as well.
But what I saw that was really good in the session this year is there's a Young Magicians event, which they run every year, but they also, it looks like, is it here? But on Sunday, between 1 and 2 p.m., there's the Mystify Magic Meetup. Did you see this?
No.
So it says, a collaboration with the Mystify Magic Festival for everyone who's eager to be part of the exciting future of women in magic.
Oh, brilliant. Oh,
yeah, it's a great initiative to get more
they?
people, more diversity into magic, because we're severely lacking in the ratio of men versus women. And you look at some of the women we have in magic, and they're better than fucking most of the men. Look at Nova Rings, look at Carissa Hendricks.
Yeah.
Like, seeing somebody do that linking ring effect on stage with a 4K camera in their face like that, with so much fun and audience interaction. Mind the pun, but that takes a set of bollocks to do that on stage. How many male magicians wouldn't have the guts to do that? I don't know whether I'm like, I've been like, because you don't know what you can talk about these days, if it's offensive or not, or even to differentiate between people. But yeah, imagine the magic industry had another 100 incredible performers like her.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's great. Well, yeah, I think that Thea is always looking at female magicians as role models. She's always
look at Laura London, one of the best hand artists of the deck of cards ever.
Yeah,
insane.
Absolutely. She's just like next level. You look at Jess Howard, who I'm doing the Jess Menchu with at the moment on my channel. Jess is fucking incredible, just incredible.
Yeah. Nia Evans,
who just won the Alon Magic Society. Big shout out to the Alon Magic Society.
Yeah, they're doing some amazing things.
They're doing so many good things. They've just had their end of year awards. And by the way, for the 2nd year in a row, I won Creator of the Year. Thank you very much.
It's fixed.
Yeah, totally fixed. Alakazam just announced me as the Creator of the Year for the 4th year as well. You're welcome. But Nia Evans won the Harry Merlin Piper Stage Performance of the Year or Stage Magician of the Year for her incredible pot noodle act, which if you've never seen, it's just fucking incredible.
I've never seen it, but I do want to see it. There's also, but there's just so many people, and this initiative is, 'cause, again, it's just one of those things to bring, that they're doing. They don't have to do that.
No,
Ella Nicholson,
Ella's amazing. Yeah, her
she
videos,
fries
the
me.
stuff that she's doing is so
Last
good.
year at the session, she's like 15 years old, comes up and just starts showing me sleight of hand, that literally turned my hand into like crippled coat hangers.
Yep.
Which is going like, yeah, you just do this. And I
Yeah,
was like, how long did it take to learn
and she
that?
does it so
10
effortlessly.
minutes.
Yeah, she does it so effortlessly. The problem with hardcore sleight of hand like that is, it can look clunky, but she makes it look great, and she's got a really
Yeah.
good personality as well.
I think it's such a shame that we have to differentiate or like say like to talk about women in magic in a sense that like it should just be that it's not like sport, right? Where, for example, you have to separate the men from the women because there's literally a physical difference. Like
Yeah,
you're not going to have a woman beat a man in sprinting, boxing, right? And that's not offensive. It's just the way it is. But there's no reason that there shouldn't be an equal split and we shouldn't just be saying. I think it should be like magicians or magicians. I don't
yeah,
know what it is.
I
It's
agree.
just yeah. So hopefully, an initiative like this just brings and the really clever part is like they're making their own customers.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Well, as somebody who runs an agency that represents some women in magic, I have to say that uh, we get a lot of inquiries from people saying, "Can I have a female magician, please?" We get a lot of people asking that. So, that's it's a thing that's very, very popular. Two names I have to shout out. One that you might not be aware of, one that you will. Ashley Goodwin, if you want to talk about sleight of hand. I mean, come on.
I
How
love
good is
Ashley,
she?
dude. How do you
For
even
people that
begin
don't know
to?
Ashley, she's
Huh?
incredible. For the people that might not have heard of Ashley Goodwin, check her out.
She
Check
was
her out.
on stage at the South Tyneside Magic Convention 2 years ago doing snap laser deals, second deals, bottom deals on stage to a lay audience of like 500 people. And as good, if not better. I mean, she has a massive Instagram following because she
Yeah.
does sleight of hand. And it's so shit to say, but like better than to differentiate, but better than the men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And if we can have, yeah, that's the thing. If we can have up the intake by tenfold, then Magic's going to be in an even better place than it is right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's more women coming into magic all the time, which is great. But yeah, the session, if you haven't bought a ticket yet, go and get a ticket. I think this is good. A lot of people are talking about how, Blackpool this year is going to be the best Blackpool ever and it's 4 days. And I think this is going to be the best session of all time. And I think that they've made a smart move moving to a different hotel. Because one of the things that I saw last year is the fucking bar shut down at 11 o'clock at the session. Like, we're in a
Doesn't
situation
bother me. I
now
don't
where,
drink.
yeah, well, I know, but that
Yeah,
session
I
vibe
mean, yeah.
encourages.
Part of what makes the session special is that you can stay up till 6 in the morning session in.
Yeah. And now they're in a venue that's conducive towards that, which is brilliant. So,
Yeah, that's one thing to say. 100% for the session is that they are actively making changes almost every year or every other year, big changes to it to keep
they
it fresh.
listen.
And
They
yeah, because
listen.
you look at Magic Live, for example. It's been at the Orleans for I don't know how many years now,
And
but
people bitch about the Orleans every year.
yeah, it's a dive. Like I can't count how many times I've been there, but it's a bit grim in that
Yeah.
place, and it doesn't have that like magic feel to it. It doesn't have
No.
and if I was running Magic Live, not that it's not a great convention, it is really good. But yeah, I would try and move it somewhere, do something fresh like what Andy and Josh are doing. Keep
Yeah.
trying to improve it incrementally every
Yeah.
single time.
Yeah. And
But
and the lineup you've got for the session this year is just ridiculous. I know we've talked about it in the past, but just having Piff the Magic Dragon as a headliner,
oh
Eric
god,
Mead as a guest of honor. Yeah. Just
Morton Christian's lecture, dude.
Morton Christian, Lloyd Barnes.
Louis Oldemo. Danny Buckle, Ruben Moreland Show, Chris Power, Jason England.
Fucking hell.
And fucking Eric Nee. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? And you're gonna get to see Hiff's lecture, Luke Jamay's lecture, which, by the way, Luke Jamay, maybe, I've said it before,
Oh, don't talk to me
best,
about Luke Jamay.
the
He
best
fucking
magician on
pisses
the
me
planet
off.
right now.
I hate it when people are better than me at everything. Like
You must hate everyone.
Yeah, pretty much, but especially him because one, he's the best mentalist of all time. He creates more. He's just a fucking incredible mentalist. You believe that what he's doing is real, and then he goes, you know what? I'll have a go at magic, and then he suddenly fucking overnight becomes the best fucking close-up magician, stage magician, the best fucking magician of all time with the best routines, the best ideas. And it's just like, what are you going to do now? Go and fucking do a puppet show? Are you going to become the best balloon modeler of all time?
I hope he doesn't go back to mentalism.
Yeah,
I would go back
me
to
too.
mentalism. He's so good at magic. When we watched him at the South Tyneside Magic Convention, it was the first time me, Jake, Sam, and the boys had seen him do magic like that since, like, well, first time seen it live since like 20 years ago on Penguin or whatever it was on its Theory 11 releases. I think they were mentalism more. And I think it's okay to say this because, like, Jake said it on a podcast, but like Jake had a tear in his eye when Luke Jamay did his caps and balls routine. It was that fucking powerful. A magic routine.
Yeah,
It was spectacular. So yeah,
yeah.
Come down. Like, if you come down to the, I mean, it's hopefully loads of people have booked and it's, jam packed already. But if you haven't thought about it, and I didn't say I've got a dealer's table, by the way.
Have you?
Yeah, for the Sunday, I've got a dealer's table. Kaylee's coming down on the night before, I think, on Saturday night, because we got kids.
Oh, brilliant.
And yeah, I got a dealer's table.
That's great.
My Docs Para book and a couple of handmade units of the Vanishing Elephant, which I need to start doing more work on.
Wow, that's cool. That's
so
really
basically,
good.
if you want to come and hang out with me, see me, and chat shit with me, and I can't do my normal thing where I get too much anxiety and run away, then I'll be stuck behind a dealer's table and I won't be able to move.
That's amazing. Oh, it's funny.
And I'm sure you're going to turn up and just put a load of your shit on there anyway and just flog it.
Of course I will. I'll just take it over and stick a load of Savant decks. Well, it's his and mine, so it counts. We'll put it there.
True.
Oh shit, that's good. That's good. Talking about we need to talk about what's happened with the magic with the Blackpool Magicians Club, because obviously this happened last night. I don't know if you're aware of this. There's been a bit of controversy about the Blackpool Magicians Club, or specifically the convention. And the reason is they made a statement yesterday. Are you aware of this, Lloyd?
Yeah, vaguely.
So let me read the statement, and I'd love to get your take on it. I'll read the statement for anybody who hasn't heard it. Just to give you a little bit of backstory, they're making this the biggest Blackpool ever. It's extended to 4 days. They've got some fucking incredible names. Every week they're releasing another incredible headliner. I know the stuff that they haven't even talked about yet. On top of the one competition, on top of the family entertainer competition, on top of everything else, I know there's new things that are happening at Blackpool that they haven't talked about yet because I'm involved in them. So I know that there's more shit to come. But they made this statement. So BMC and Chris Angel's statement: the Blackpool Magic Convention, the world's largest and most prestigious magic convention, and Chris Angel are rescheduling his upcoming appearance at Blackpool Magic Convention 26. Chris will now be headlining the 27 event instead and playing an even bigger role than originally planned. Chris, Caesars Entertainment, and Alex Cooper are premiering a shock rock magic experience called Welcome to Our Nightmare, premiering March the 6th, 2026 at the Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. As a result, travel and logistics issues would limit the amount of time that Chris could be at Blackpool 26. With Chris wanting to be fully engaged with all aspects of the convention from beginning to end, BMC and Chris have designed a more comprehensive and fully immersive experience for 27. In addition to the TEDx-style mega talk, meet and greets, and serving as the head judge for the one-stage competition, which is what he was doing this year, Chris will also lead an invaluable creativity workshop for selected magicians and some of the convention performers. Also, the winner of the one-stage competition will be Chris's guest at his show Mind Freak in Las Vegas and be brought on stage during one of the performances. Chris explained, while I'm disappointed I won't be at Blackpool at this February, I'm excited to be much more involved with Blackpool 27. Now in my 21st year of Mind Freak and about to launch my second show in Las Vegas, I'm particularly enthusiastic to have a creative workshop session and share my thoughts, processes, and direction with specific acts, as they too can have a greater opportunity to succeed and reach their fullest potential, and my hope with even greater success than me. So, yeah, there you go. Basically, Chris has pulled out. Now, the controversy comes. There's a lot of people bitching about it on the various different forums, various different Facebook groups, in the comments on the Blackpool Magic Conventions thread. Just read you a couple so you know. Now, some people are like, don't care, but here's a couple of examples. So the main headliner is not coming again. This will be a big disappointment to the conventioneers. A lot of people, including myself, had booked because of him being there. This is ridiculous. Who's going to be the main headliner instead? I feel that they are going to have to cover the 2027 trip, including airfare and lodging, for everyone who booked for 2026. The fact that some have nowhere else to go in February 26 or can't reschedule or wouldn't choose to stand there doing a card trick to anyone who passes by, even without the convention, doesn't excuse what happened. I know that sometimes things happen that prevent an appearance. I am an entertainment lawyer. I deal with this sort of thing all the time. But as the statement makes clear, this was foreseeable when they announced the booking. You sound, there you go. Yeah, okay. It was foreseeable. He goes on then about some stuff. Okay, so he goes on and on and on. And then a few other people are bitching as well. Is it me, or have they been announcing this immersive clown's appearance at Blackpool Magic Convention since 2019? This guy's a clown. And then Richard Kaufman, bless his cotton fucking socks. Richard Kaufman wades in and says, Chris Angel, that's a surefire way to shit up your convention. And then somebody says, Chris, Richard, maybe he'll give a lecture in the Opera House like Uri Geller, how to make yourself great again. And he said, Richard Kaufman goes, Uri Geller gave an amazing presentation at the first Genie convention and got a standing ovation, and he's a nice guy. Those are two things that will never be able to be said about Chris Angel. I can read more, but that gives you the context that people are bitching, people are moaning. The headliner is no longer going to be a Blackpool. I personally couldn't give a fuck, because it wasn't like he was going to be doing a show. He wasn't doing a lecture. He was doing a TEDx talk. Now, it's going to be an incredible TEDx talk.
Is it? I mean, there's always stuff to be gleaned from anyone. Anyone, even people that you think are terrible. You can learn something. You can learn something from anyone. But that comment of they have to refund the people who paid for it, dude. If you're actually paying thousands of dollars to travel across the Atlantic Ocean to see Chris Angel, only if that's the only reason you're going, then go to his fucking show.
Exactly. Yeah, I completely agree.
Don't. Sorry, it's the best value for money convention in Magic history. There's no comparison, right? No. You got I don't know how many lecturers and performers this year, but there's so many incredible. This is the complaint that Blackpool has. There are too many good performers and lecturers.
Yeah.
But I'm not just saying that like people are saying, haha, there's too many. I mean, there are actual complaints because there are too many and they don't have enough time to see all the ones they want.
Yeah.
And one person, although it's listed as a headliner, one person is unable to make it. Yet every other, I do know we live in a world where people can find a way to complain about fucking everything. But if your sole reason for spending, as they say, thousands of dollars on airfare and hotels and flights is to see Chris Angel, go to his fucking show.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
Because it's not the only reason you go in, so fuck off.
Yeah.
It's not right. It's true. It's not the only reason they're going. They're going for everything else that comes with Blackpool. I'm watching Chris Angel talk nonsense for a bit, and I don't mean nonsense, but just fucking have a TED talk for half an hour, whatever. Is not the only reason you go in. It happens all the time in look at festivals. Deftones pulled out like the day, mostly in festivals. The headline acts pull out the day before.
Yeah,
right. Happens every single summer, and people go, "Oh, that's a shame," but hopefully there's a good replacement and. We got a whole weekend filled with phenomenal acts.
And here's the thing. You could take the amount of names that have been announced for Blackpool. You could take 10 of those names just off the top of my head. Rick Thomas, Banachek. You could take any one of those names and it would be the fucking headliner in any convention around the world. Chris may have been on paper the headliner, but there's 10 names there, minimum of 10 names, that if you saw that name at a convention, any other convention, you'd be like, that's the headliner, that's the headliner, that's the headliner. I don't think it's a big loss. They've still got.
No, I don't mean that as a diss to Chris Angel either.
No, I know
when you look at the scale of the convention, I'm literally pulling up now the 2026 lecture performers list if I can find it anywhere. Hans Klock, Banachek, Jack Rhodes, Zabrecki, Paul Gertner, Richard Sanders. That's just on the fucking little website they've got. They haven't even got all the acts on there. And these are the early lineup announcements. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Where do I find the list of?
I've got it somewhere here. Let me look it up here.
It should be on their website. Not that it needs to be on their website,
but it's probably not. So let's just look here. So some names. Vinny Segou.
Where is it?
Well, I'm just going on their Facebook page where they make the announcements. Vinny Segou, Quentin Reynolds, Zabrecki, Robin DeVille, who won the one last year, Paul Draper, John Archer, Etienne Pradier. Fuck me, there's so many names. Adrian
Jan
Vega,
Frisch, fucking Frisch, Mark Hobie, Jay Sankey, Tobias Dossel, fucking Tape Face is there. Eric
Leclerc.
Oh, fucking hell.
Charlie Caper, Caroline Raven, Chris Capehart. Solange.
Is Eric Jones going to be there?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not too sure. Solange and Leah Kyle, the two greatest quick change artists of all time. Mind to Mind, the current world champions of
Matt
mentalism. Reed Chang, Perseus Acronamis. And then there's other names as well. There's so many. Paul Gertner, like you said.
We've got to say Lord Harrington.
Well, Jamie Williams and Harry Harrington representing Wales.
Harry's lecture is going to be nuts. I won't tell everyone what I did, but he came to my house and I had to do something in my bathtub with him for his lecture notes. And it's bonkers.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best lineup in history.
Joel M doing like one of his first convention appearances for ages. Joel M.
A Blue Peter presenter, an actual, real, live Blue Peter presenter,
who literally dominated social media, doing it the right way, not the Rick Black's way, doing it the right way, and they've got him. How they fucking got him? Because I didn't even realize he could do that, being in contract with BBC. Like. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and to complain that you're not getting to see Chris, or you spent your money, maybe. Let's tone it down a bit. Maybe somebody did actually think, do you know what? I've seen Chris Angel's show. I really wanted to hear him lecture.
Yeah.
And I've spent all this money on it, right? And maybe that is one of his diehard fans. Okay, sorry, that happened. Hopefully you have cancellation policies on your flights and your hotels. Most people do. You have travel insurance. However, the booby prize is that you get the best convention in history.
And let's not forget, we're also not even mentioning the amount of gala shows, the amount of evening shows. We're not mentioning the late night shows. We're not mentioning
the good stuff at Blackpool, which is the sessioning.
Yeah, the sessioning and the dealer hall.
The dealer hall, 200 dealers this year.
200 dealers. Like, you'll see stuff that you'll never see anywhere else. I know Nemid Phoenix, we all know Nem, my friend Nem. He spends most of his convention just going around the dealers and then sessioning. not really going
I'll be
into
honest
their
with you.
method.
Mostly everyone I speak to, not mostly, but a large portion of people I speak to don't even. Yeah, they just go for the dealers
Yeah.
alone.
And there's nothing wrong with that because you'll see the coolest shit at the dealers.
Man,
You-
what a fucking amazing month coming up. We got, first of all, the session convention.
Yep.
I always say the sessions where you go to become a better magician.
Yep.
Or in my case, you go to watch my you go just to watch my lecture and actually lose brain cells. Then, if you just want to, if you want just magic overload, you go to Blackpool.
Yep.
It's always like I think of it as like university, right? You wake up in the day, you go to uni, you learn your shit. That's the session convention. That's where you put the work in. That's where you get the most back. And then in the night you go to party, and that's Blackpool. It's magic party zone, like in a sense, Also, you've got to learn some amazing stuff, but it is just like, what the fuck, Vil?
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. And that's happening within 4 weeks of each other.
I know. It's ridiculous. It's like, yeah, things really start getting hyped up. I can't wait. There's always the biggest releases at Blackpool as well. That's the thing. Have you heard anything? Have you heard of anything that's going to be like the big product getting released at Blackpool? Because that tends to get hyped starting around about now. People are like, you know what? I've got this thing coming out of Black. Do you know anything? Have you got any insider knowledge?
I know Jake Keen has a new app.
Oh, fuck that guy. He fucks my head up with his apps.
I think it's gonna be ready in time for Blackpool. I'm kind of putting him on. He can't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a new app for Blackpool, and it's fucking.
I need to interview Jake about all of this then because I need to know. I need to know the lowdown on this. Jake is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
I love his calendar that he's been doing every single day as well. I don't know. Yeah. If you don't know, if you're not in the, we talked about the Society of Secrets, Lloyd's Patreon. Jake Keane has his own Patreon as well called Real Underground, and he posts so fucking regularly it makes my head spin. I'm a yearly member to both the Society of Secrets and the Real Underground, so I'm just a permanent member. Um, and the stuff that he puts up is amazing. And he's just had this advent calendar thing go up where every single day from the 1st of December to the 25th of December he's been dropping content.
He's been doing it for 3 years now. So yes, Magic Advent Calendar, and every day he posts a new trick or idea or concept. That's mentalism leaning, but also a lot of magic stuff. But the difference, if anyone else is, I don't know if anyone else is doing them similar. I've seen like 12 days of Christmas stuff, but the difference is like Jake's ideas are actually fucking gold dust. Gold dust. You remember we talked about like that Invisible Man routine from Paul Harris?
Yes.
Or that they somebody turned it into a full-blown stage routine, which is now an incredible thing. But that was just a PH footnote at the end in one of his books somewhere.
Yeah.
That's kind of like some of this stuff in the calendar that goes up on Jake's membership. Is that some of it you read it and you almost would just like not sink it in, but then when you actually think about it, you go, "Oh my god, that shouldn't be a fucking free post. Like this is fucking insane." And that's kind of like, yeah, Jake's USP. But if you want to check it out, as a lot of the posts are free, but it's patreon.com and there's / the Real Underground.
Yeah, go check it out. Jake is incredible. So he's got an app coming out that's going to destroy everybody. Do you know anything else?
Do you know anything great coming out?
I have something coming out through Alakazam. Alakazam have got a really good lineup this year. I don't know of everything they've got coming out, but I know that they're trying to get a thing out that I filmed with them about a year ago. So we'll see if that comes out, which is self-working, really baffling, sort of very Alakazam-y trick that'll just fool the shit out of you. I don't really normally care about that sort of thing, but it'll fool the shit out of you. We've Outside of that, I haven't really heard much. I know Penguin are gonna go big this year at Blackpool. I know they're gonna be bringing, yeah. From speaking to Penguin, they're gonna
Who's
go.
coming over?
Eric,
Hell yes.
Mandy, and Sean.
Hell yes.
I'm gonna be
Hell
on the
yes.
Penguin booth. And then I believe, now I haven't confirmed this, and this will make you squee with excitement. I haven't confirmed this, but I believe maybe Dalton Wayne. Yeah.
I'm gonna make a mess of myself.
Dal
Yes.
For those of you that don't know, Dalton's an incredibly creative magician. He's brought some fucking incredible stuff out. But he's the guy behind every single trailer and tutorial that Penguin does. He does everything, like everything. How he manages to do that much content on
I
top
know.
of everything he does,
And
because
such high quality as well.
it's incredible. Yeah,
Insane. I just bowed out to him.
yeah,
Yeah, and he's just lovely as well.
he's just the nicest guy. And do you know, he's as well as everything he does. Last time I was speaking to him, he's set up a company in the US as well with his fiance, because he's getting married this 2026. He's set up a company with his fiance, bedazzling spectacles. So he goes to like conventions. They have a lot of festivals in the US, and you'll give them your glasses, and they'll turn it into fucking bedazzled. It's just fucking bedazzled, custom for you, and it's
What?
it's huge. It's becoming huge.
No.
Yeah, when he was doing all the Black Friday stuff, I was speaking to him, and he's like, "I've got all this video editing to do, but I've got to bedazzle all of these glasses as well." He's like, "I don't know how I'm going to get everything done." So
Whoa.
yeah, he's
I
killing.
love it when I hear about people's sideline things like that. And you just think, what the fuck? I never knew that about you. But I can totally
Yeah,
picture it because he's totally like he's always got a wild look about him. He's always got his hair different colors. He's always like
yeah,
got like different he's just crazy.
yeah, yeah. So
See,
yeah,
the only things that I can think about that I've heard about, but I don't know if I can talk about it. But so Mark Elsden did Desert Island Tricks, and he put my lottery trick in his 8 tricks he would take to Desert Island with him.
yeah.
And he
Well,
called me and
why
said,
not? Six is fucking incredible.
thanks, man. I appreciate it. Well, okay, I hate talking about my shit. Well, anyway, he called me. He was like, hey, I'm just so you know, and do you mind? I'm putting 6 in there. And is there any way people can get it? Because I took it off sale immediately. If it's sold out in like a few hours, and I never printed it again, but it's in my lecture notes now. So he called me with that, and we were chatting, and he was telling me about some stuff that he's bringing out. And now there's 2 things from Mark Elsden, which are 2 of my favorite routines of all time. And one of them is I'm doing a Desert Island Tricks at some point. I got to film it. I got to record it with Jamie. I need to reply to him. One of them is ironically in that, right? I'll say the one because I'm not giving away what the thing is. So it's his limelight effect.
Limelight's amazing.
Right. I got loads of videos of me performing it, especially when I used to drink. I used to do it a lot in bars. I got loads of old footage of it. But there's another trick of his, and he said I don't want to but anyway, there's 2 tricks from Mark Elsden in particular that I absolutely adore. One of them's Limelight. The other one is something else. I'm not going to name it because I don't know if I'm allowed to say that he's redoing it in a new way.
Wow.
But that's the thing that I'm most excited to see. I'll type this in.
He's typing it in the chat. Right. Okay,
In the
good.
chat.
Oh, fuck.
Do you know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
So stupidly fucking clever that it hurts my balls.
Yeah.
And but I don't know if I'm allowed to like talk about it early. So I'll ask Mark.
Is he self-releasing now, or is it coming out through a company, or?
I think he's doing one thing with a company that I know of. I won't say the company name because it'll give away what it is, kind of in a sense. And I'm not sure if it's that or if it's something else that's going to be self-released. I need to clear it up with him. But before I start like giving people wrong info, I'll double check with Mark and we'll talk about it in the next episode. But that's the thing that thing that I typed there is what I'm really, really excited about.
Well, the thing that I keep getting asked about over and over again is if the gaff deck is coming out at any point soon, because we've been promising it for 5 years. Like 5 fucking years. We've been, ever since you and I met, the first thing that we said we wanted to do together that Murphy's greenlit was the gaff deck. And we've spent this long working on it. That should tell you what it's like.
I'm actually going to find out today, I think, if and when or where the updated cards are, the 6 updated cards.
I would love to have this out for Blackpool. I really would.
I'm just checking. It's New Year's Eve, isn't it? So I'm checking the email that went out. New Year's Eve. Okay, so they're in work today. So they're off tomorrow. So I'll find out for you today where they are in the process, and if they are en route, if they're at the warehouse, then
That's great.
possible Blackpool release.
Stick.
And people can't say we're rushing it because this thing's been
No, we're far from rushing it. We've been going back
a
and
long
forth.
time in the
The
making.
amount of back and forth we've gone on this is ridiculous. But you don't see gaff decks anymore. You don't see old school gaff decks anymore. And I think they're always I know you love them. I love them. They're my favorite thing in the world. Back when illusionists were really popular, back in the day, that was the thing I was most excited about. That's what I went to Illusionist for, the gaff decks. And, you put out a lot of work through Illusionist, but your cohort gaff deck, fucking incredible. Absolutely incredible. Like, gaff decks are cool and you don't really see them anymore. And
I just think it's because nobody's doing good ones.
That's the problem.
I think that's just what it is. Not that this is good because it's our own work, so we'll let other people judge it, but yeah. So hopefully it's time for some good ones to come out.
You know what I like about this, without going too much into it or hyping it too much, because we don't even know if it's going to be able to come out or not yet at Blackpool. But I love the fact that you and I, although we both love magic and we both create, and we've come at it completely different ways. Because I come at something as very much what's the reset? Can I do it immediately? Can I do it to the next table? What are the angles like? Like, can we make this? While you come at it as like very out there, kind of like if people have seen your cohorts gaff deck, you'll know what I'm talking about. You're like, well, we could create this illusion that this is happening and we could do this and we can have that, which is fucking incredible as well. And I think we've managed to find that sweet spot between the two approaches. And I think we've got this perfect thing with every single card. So
yeah, I think it's a really good mixture of like I'm always trying to see what I can do new in terms of like close like optical illusions and like just weird fucking magic. And then you're the guy that's there that will find that way of taking something and making it usable, like actually doable, and how much juice can you squeeze out of something. And that's exactly what's happened here. We've kind of put that together, and some really weird shit has come out of it. But some crazy fun stuff. Honestly, I'm looking at it and I think like shit, the box alone could literally be its own product.
It could. The box is fucking incredible. And that was all you. That was not me. I came up with some ideas that were shit. And then you came up with this. And I'm like,
I think it was you. I don't think it was me that came up with the box.
Wasn't it? I know I kept trying to come up with ideas with boxes, and I don't know.
I feel terrible now. I've said it's good, but I mean, the box thing on its own could be its own thing.
I thought it was you.
Regardless of who created it.
I don't know. I can't admit. Yeah, the box could be its own thing, but every single card in there is amazing. And you get extra cards, and the tutorial is going to be sick. I'm hopefully going to be filming live performances as of next week. That's how close we are. So yeah. So there you go. Here's the thing. I've filmed a predictions video for 2026. Predictions of what I think will happen in the community in 2026. What's your prediction? Your top prediction of what you think might happen in this industry?
Top prediction.
I'll give you my number one prediction without spoiling my list. My number one prediction, it doesn't have to be anything big, but my number one prediction is I am fucking 100% convinced. I am 100% convinced that Vanishing Ink are going to buy the Scott Alexander estate.
That's a lofty prediction.
I am convinced of it because Josh and Andy are all about, like books, and they're all about, they've just brought out that massive Marlowe collection, and hey, we don't want these people to die. We want their legacy to live on. They're very much about that. I see that over and over again. And don't forget, Scott Alexander bought out in very limited supply his first book, which still exists, but you can't get it anymore. And then he was going to bring out a second book, which never happened because he passed away before the second book came out. But as far as I'm aware, it was almost completely written. And if anybody could finish it off, it would be Andy Gladwin. But then if you bought the Scott Alexander estate, not only have you got those two books, but you've got all of his DVDs, you've got all of his tricks. Some of them are very Vanishing Ink. And you could take just the stuff that's in, for example, the DVD collection and create a third book of all of it. There's so much you could do.
Yeah, I think that's a fucking good shout. Well, I think all the incentives there. Scott Alexander has a cult following. huge following, respected by everyone. And if you've got it, they've seen how well the format for releasing the Conover books has worked.
Yep.
You know, so it's definitely something that's super viable.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of business sense. And it's a good way to show respect to the artist as well.
And unlike other authors that have passed away, I'm 100% positive Scott Alexander was never a sex offender.
Yeah.
So there's not that.
Neither was Eric Mead's book, just in case you were
Conover, yeah.
Tim Conover. We're on about Ted Karmalovic.
We're talking about Ted Karmalovic, yes.
Disgusting name is. My prediction, fuck, there's so many things that I'm pretty sure are gonna happen. I know are gonna happen. I think there might be a certain magician that might be looking at jail time or the beginning. You know.
Oh, yes, I do know. Yes.
Yeah, that might be very seriously looking at jail time, or at least the startings of proceedings for it. I think I want to say that because the Magic Cafe have enabled pedophiles and actively covered up the acts of pedophilia in aid to help people sell products, I would like to see more people take the stance that at least I have in denouncing the Magic Cafe and refusing to use it in any way, shape, or form. And I'd like to see that die, because there is no excuse on planet Earth that they should cover up the crimes of a pedophile in any way, shape, or form.
Nope.
And they've actively done that, and they're guilty of that. So I'd like other people to, I think, it's like, listen, I can't listen to music by pedophiles. Call me a freak. Somebody commented on a video on one of our podcast videos from the week before last, I think it was, and they said, Lloyd sure does like talking about pedophiles. Let's hope he talks about David Copperfield in the next episode. I don't know where that comment's gone. I was like, I will talk about people in the magic industry being pedophiles and covering up the acts. But I thought, what a strange comment, being annoyed that I'm actively exposing the Magic Cafe for covering up the crimes of pedophiles. It's like, are you like worried? But yeah, and also we did talk about in the next episode the David Copperfield and the Epstein files. The problem is, or not a problem, but he's not guilty of anything. It's just a photo of him around pedophiles. Doesn't mean he did it. So I ain't going to stand.
Well, when you talk about Karmalovic, you're talking about somebody who was actively sent to prison.
5 years, did 5 years in prison for being a pedophile, and the Magic Cafe actively kept his thread open and deleted any posts mentioning his dark, disgusting history. They are covering up the crimes of a pedophile. So I'll talk about that until I'm blue in the face. I feel like everyone should be.
Yep.
I don't like talking about it. It makes my stomach turn, especially having two young boys.
I think that's one of the reasons you're most passionate, is because you're a dad.
Yeah.
I'm a dad. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't see any to me, there's one very clear reason why someone would find that odd, or be annoyed that we're exposing people like that. Yeah. Guess what that reason is? So yeah, predictions. I'd like to see the vile Magic Cafe run its course. It almost has. You look at the online figures of there, and every day it's incrementally lower.
Well, Google, as you know, Google have stopped indexing it anymore.
Huh?
Google have stopped indexing it anymore.
Good.
Like Google are like, we're not going to fucking index. You can't find you Google anything. You're not going to find a Magic Cafe link.
Is it because Google have been made aware that they are a dictatorship that covers up the crimes of pedophiles?
I don't know. It happened about a year ago, so I don't think it's about the pedophile thing, because that's only just recently come to light. But Google you can't find Magic Cafe hits on Google. If you Google anything, it's never going to show you.
It's a shame, because it used to be a good resource until they started covering up the crimes of pedophiles and enabling them. So that's a shame. Well, no, it's not a shame. Sorry, it was something good. So my prediction. Hopefully that just gets run into the ground, or dies. There's certain magic companies that I'm pretty convinced that are officially going to close the doors, even though the metaphorically doors are closed anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm looking at, what about the positives?
I mean, there's a lot of positives. I think that Magic is going to be bigger than ever before. I think that Magic, we've seen a big You know, for any magic company that says that magic's not popular at the moment, you're fucking wrong. I think that I think that
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
yeah. Magic is in every sense of the word, from TV to active magicians, the amount of magicians to the industry. Um, what a fucking time to be alive in magic. What a
yep,
time to be alive. The only time it's ever really felt like this to me was the boom of magic 20, 15 years ago.
yep, yep. I'd agree with that.
You know, when Theory 11 were on fire, when Illusionists were good, when everyone was excited, doing exciting new things, pushing the boundaries. It feels like we're there again.
One thing that I said that I think will happen. I'm fairly confident that Theory 11 are going to be trying to become a player when it comes to tricks for beginners. I think they're going to try and move into that Marvin's Magic space because there's nobody really doing that on a big scale. And they've just brought out these Zach King trick starters. And they obviously invested a lot of time and effort into wanting it to be popular because you saw some of the biggest influencers in Magic online.
That's the thing in Magic, though. How many people outside of Magic?
Yeah, I know, but I was speaking to who was I speaking? Right, so I was speaking to Greg Rostami about this the other day. And he says if you want to become really successful, financially successful as a creator of magic, you find a way to make it appeal to the general public. And he was talking about his trick I Force from years ago. And the Gadget Show in the UK actually uh, exposed iForce. Not in a I'm exposing it way. They did a trick with it and they were like, it's this app, it's blah 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 blah. And he said over the course of 48 hours after the Gadget Show aired, he sold like something like 8,000 units of iForce. And you know, for those people that aren't in this industry, you know, generally as a rule, for your average producer, if you sell 1,000 units of something, it's a successful product.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a successful product. You can say, "Hey, I bought this out. I sold 1,000 units." Yeah, you're going to have done well. He sold 8,000 units in 2 days, and he said the way to really
In two
tap.
days, fucking hell.
Yeah, exactly. He said the way to really tap in to being financially successful is finding something that gets the general public excited about buying a magic trick.
2 days. Yeah, so like Cognito is in the double digit thousands of sales, but that's been live for 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah,
Cypher by me and Will Jones, the original one, again, double digit sales, double digit thousand sales. And that's, well, before it was changed and took down, like again, years to get to that point. Doing like that many in 2 days is fucking crazy. But then
but,
it's what's the goal, isn't it? Like I personally, for me, I have no interest. Like I'm proud that so many people use my magic, but for both those apps, I didn't earn any money off it.
yeah,
My goal is not earning money in magic. It's creating magic every day and just supporting the family. It'd be nice to make millions, but I don't really give a fuck about that.
yeah,
And I know that I could, like, I designed tricks for magic sets. I designed all
yeah,
the magic that went into the Illusionist Kickstarter sets.
yeah,
And they've done really well. There's certain tricks that I know that like a pro capsule, the vanishing headphones are perfect for like a lay person's magic set. But I could actively chase it, and probably I think I could do pretty well, and it might turn overnight success. But I'm not interested in creating magic for lay people. Like it's not me.
I get that. I
You know what I
totally get
mean?
that. But I mean,
I'm a magician.
yeah, I think you talk about Illusionist. One of the reasons that I think Illusionist was successful back in the day is because they tapped into that whole David Blaine thing. A
Oh
lot
yeah,
of the
they
people,
put an advert in the middle of his TV
yeah,
special.
exactly. So I think they created a lot of magicians by putting that advert out there and focusing their attention on lay people. Hey, learn the secrets of you know, how to be a street magician like David Blaine. And I think that, you know,
Yeah,
Theory 11.
they sold something like 30,000 DVDs in the first
Yeah,
day.
exactly. And that's how, you know, the magic marketplace is finite. It really is. The way that you make it really successful is by And it's a win-win, really, because if you can get the general public interested in buying Magic, and don't come at me with exposure, because if they're spending money on a product to
Oh
learn a
yeah,
trick,
yeah,
then it's not exposure. It's they are now actively interested in learning it as a hobby. Then that's going to help Magic no end. But as well as helping Magic no end, it'll help that company. And I can see that that's what Theory 11 are doing because they've gone beyond Magic. Magic has always been there for them. It will always continue to be there. But the big thing is their cards. And what they've done is the brand deals that they've established with people like Marvel and so on and so forth, and James Bond and all these different franchises that they've created playing cards from. That's really catapulted them to huge success. You see all of their cards in just normal shops now. I could see them capitalizing on that, and look how big Marvin's Magic is, which is
yeah.
predominantly aimed at really children, but lay children. I could see Theory 11 trying to do that same thing, but with adults or young adults. And
Yeah.
I think that's where they tried. I think they've tested the water with tricks with kicks with
Oh
their
yeah,
trick series.
dude. Bame's a business genius. He's just gonna follow the money. If it does well, he'll do more.
Yeah,
Simple as
exactly.
that.
I think we're going to see more. I think it has
The
been
other thing for
successful
me
for them.
though, like I don't think anyone's gonna be offended by this, but I fucking hate the direction they've gone.
Do you really?
Yeah, I hate it. I think it's fucking amazing as a business, and they do make some beautiful products, but they had the magic industry in the palm of their hand. They did the coolest shit. They were on the cutting edge all the time for like magicians. Um, everything was exciting. There was so much mystery to it, which is I think so mystery and not. I think the word hype is so incorrectly used. It's not so much. It's mystery and excitement, which is what the heart of magic is. They had that so right, and then they'd come out and often, not always, same as like any good company, like Apple. Every so often you have a few misses, but most of the time they would get it right. And yeah, they made magic. They did magic so well, and they made it look such the right way. And now it's like they've got. It's just any good movie coming out, they're gonna make a deck of cards for it, and
Yep.
it's just like I don't know. It's uh, it's like imagine you have your favorite band, and then you listen to that and you look at them in 10 years' time, and they're just doing pop music. It's like oh shit, man, you were like, unless they were pop to begin with, but it's like imagine looking at like one of your favorite rock bands, and then I don't know, like you look at them 10 years later, it's like oh shit, so they're just doing Ed Sheeran songs now. Fuck. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the numbers work, but and I guess they're catchy boppers, but fuck.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. And I don't
Yeah.
think Bacon's going to be upset by that. Dude, he could probably buy fucking island, not an Epstein island, an island.
Uh,
I don't
I agree.
know. I don't think I'm ever going to be that guy. I'm never going to be that guy.
You love magic,
If I had a successful magic company that like literally had magic done right, which was the mystery, the excitement, good magic materials for proper magicians. But that's all I'd ever want. I wouldn't ever
yeah.
want. I wouldn't want something else.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree.
So, but yeah. So I don't know. As much as your prediction it doesn't even interest me really. If that's the really cool, good, fucking great. Good luck. Good luck to it. Talk about someone having a goal and doing it the right way. Because so many people try it and fail. If Bame's going to do it, he's not going to fail. But it don't
Yeah.
interest me in the slightest.
Well, let me throw another prediction at you. Let me throw another thing at you. I think that we're going to see a massive reduction in electronic products being used by mentalists. And I'll tell you why. Over Christmas, there were two Facebook ads that popped up on my Facebook feed, targeted ads. Um, Designed for lay people, not magic apps, nothing like that, not magic products. The first one was a key fob that you put on your keys. That's a photo key fob, and it's controlled by an app on your phone. And you can literally take any photo from your photo library, click on it, and it will automatically put the picture on the key fob with e-ink. and it looks just like a real picture. That's a little bit like the Peter thing. Like I would, and I know a lot of mentalists that do that Peter thing, and they're like, "Look, hold on to my key fob. Think of something. Oh, look at this. Look at the key fob. It's there. It's a picture. Oh my God, that's amazing." That's what we're seeing here now being marketed to lay people. And even if it's not the same thing, it's going to make people go, "Hang on a minute. If they just had that bought for them by Christmas, and thousands of people are buying these, and then you try and do another prediction that's a similar sort of thing, they're going to go, hang on a minute. I think that might be similar to this." And then I saw another ad for a pen, and it looks like a normal pen. That was the pitch for it. It looks like a normal pen, and you can get any pad. You write on the pad, and it immediately transfers it onto your phone and puts it into a notes page and puts it into text. Or you can do a drawing and and it's that functionality of a normal pen writing on a normal piece of paper that transfers it over to a phone. Now, mentalists, by and large, like people to think what they're doing is real. Or it's not real, but the methods involve psychology. The methods involve NLP. The methods involve, I'm just like a human lie detector. You look at O's Pearlman, or closer to home, Matt Cluley. You look at people like that, and that's their whole pitch. Their whole pitch is, I can read your mind. I can, study your facial tics and your body language, and I can.
Yeah, Darren Brown's 101,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly,
NLP.
right. Makes it a lot harder if somebody calls them out and go, yeah, no, that's the thing that I had bought for me for Christmas. And I can just see mentalists reverting to the tried and tested methods of billets and peaks and so on and so forth, and moving
I don't
away
know, man,
from
because here's the counter to that.
Okay.
So let's say a mentalist is there going, shit, I can no longer use my electronic peak pad because they might think that I'm using an electronic peak pad.
Yeah.
So instead, I'm going to do an acid novus peak. Yeah.
Yeah.
The spectator could still think that they're using an electronic pad anyway.
Yes.
He asked me to write it down. That is the method. I don't know what he did, but the fact that it left my head and it went onto paper, whether it be via him looking at it or electronically, that's how he saw it. This was my whole argument with Cognito. The reason why Cognito exists is because I overheard lay people saying, after a mentalism show, they were standing on the bar. At the time, the mentalist said, "You're thinking of this," when the person stood up in the audience. Afterwards, when they were chatting about it at the bar, they were going, "How did he do that idea?" And they were talking, and the guy goes, "I literally have no idea. All it was, before the show, I wrote down," and it went, "Oh." And they all went, "Ah." So Cognito exists, my app, because they never say it, they never type it, they never even look at it, they just think about it. So
Yeah.
if mentalists are going to insist on having stuff written down, doesn't matter the method. If the audience are going to assume. So I don't think so. I think mentalists are, they're not going to revert back to using billet peaks. If they've got a smart pad that they like already, because in the eyes of the audience, if the audience are going to guess what the method is or guess a method, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether they're right or wrong. They assume.
So do you think that it's a wider issue, or do you think it's not a problem?
It's about the performer, really, man. It's about using it in the right way. For example, that keychain thing, yeah. And this is what so many people get so wrong about using methods in certain ways. That in that keychain, for example, remember the Stanford pizza test by Greg Rostami?
Yeah.
So you have a list of basically I think it's using inject. Was it inject? You have someone think of a number between 1 and 10. Depending on the number they pick, you show one of 10 different lists in 10 different orders. So say you want to force the word pizza and they say the number 6, you would show them the list where the word pizza is 6th on the list. With that keychain, it shouldn't be the end point of the reveal. So it shouldn't be like, hey, name a celebrity. Oh my God, their picture is on my keychain. It should be something along the lines of, hey, name a number between 1 and 10, for example. Okay, cool. On my keychain, I keep a little list of the top 10 celebrities or 10 destinations I've been to, whatever it's going to be. Whatever number you name, look at that. Look at what's there. Think about that. Okay, now this reveal is on a physical poster over here, or it's tattooed on
Yeah,
my
so
skin,
you're
or whatever.
removing it away from the
Yeah, you don't make it the end point. You don't make it the focus of the routine. And again, with the smart pads and the billet peaks, whatever your convincers are that you're not using what's been written down to attain their information, then make sure that those convincers are airtight. You know,
yeah,
like the technology it'll be something like this. It'll come to a point where someone will say, look, I need you to write this down, because the last time I did this, somebody, I knew I was reading their mind, I knew I was correct, but to show me up, they changed their mind. So I want you to write this down on a piece of paper so that you've locked it in and that you can't make me look stupid later on, right? But here's the thing, you're going to think that I'm somehow looking at that. You're going to think that I've got some sort of electronic pad. You're going to think I've got some special pen. You're going to think that I'm looking at it. So go and get your own pen, go and get your own paper, lean on that desk over there or something, write it down so that it's solidified, give it to someone you trust, or put it in your pocket. Now you can't change your mind, but I also could not know what it is that you've written down.
yeah.
And then somewhere along that route, hide a method. It could be the Ali Noira Steam type of thing. You're like, look, write it down, put the box on top of it. It could be that whatever they write it down on top of, you're like, look, go over there, hide on that table. You've put an electronic peak pad on the table. So they're using their own paper, their own pen, but somewhere along, you know what I mean? So it's just about thinking logically from the audience's point of view, whether they're right or wrong, input their own method. And then you remove those options like stepping stones, or you insert some false methods. You know, take this special pad and pen, or take this pad and pen. This is my pad. Don't use yours. Write on it. Go over there. And then at the end of the routine, when they're like, "Ha, it's something to do with this," you say, "Oh, you can keep it." And now you've thrown them into an impossible loop. You know, like a Gordian knot.
Yeah.
So technology is not going to decimate. It'll just be more. It'll be that more exposed performers, bad performers will get exposed, and the good performers will find ways to adapt and invent new, smarter methods using technology.
So what do you reckon the next big thing is? And will it happen in 2026? You know, we've had the app revolution, we've had the technological revolution. You know, I think this last year there's been more tech magic than ever before.
It's much more accessible. AI is the big thing. AI is the big one. Now anyone can make an app. There's going to be and I've talked about this, there's going to be an explosion in apps and a massive race to the bottom in quality of ideas of the apps. Mm-hmm. Not so much the execution. I think if anything, like a lot of these apps are better built. Not like the Kirsty stuff. Obviously, he's like the gold tier, the gold standard. But where people would make bad apps before, now AI is making them great. But it's going to be every man for himself. Sort of, it's going to be how many ideas can I put out, not what good idea can, you know.
It's a little bit like when you had video cameras on phones, and suddenly it became very, very easy for people to record a video on their phone. While before you had to have equipment, you had to have cameras, you had to have mics, and we saw a massive uptick in instant downloads. You know, you look at the Y, you look at the Penguin Partner Program, and like people were putting out tricks that they never should have put out in a million years because they were complete and total brain farts. They weren't great at all, but those tricks were coming out because people could very easily, you could have an idea for a trick in the morning, and then by the afternoon, you could have it online for sale with a simple little performance on the Penguin Partner Program. And I think that the download market is kind of tanked. Well, it's tanked, let's be honest. The download market, compared to where it was years ago, has tanked because there were just so many shit downloads coming out. And
I'm not sure if tanked is the right word. I kind of feel like it's run its course.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you've still got
that it's like something killed it, but like everything like almost could have been done has kind of been done in a sense. It was so accessible. Yeah.
And the point is that could also be what we're going to be seeing with AI. That now that everyone's got access to ChatGPT at just a few quid a month, now they can create their own app very, very easily without needing any experience. They can have any crap idea.
It's going to lead to some really good apps coming out. It's going to lead to some apps that great magic creators will finally be able to build for themselves. People that wouldn't want to work with developers or didn't know the first thing can now sort of be like can have the AI handhold them through the process, and then they have the confidence to build themselves. But that's going to be few and far between. There's going to be there's going to be so much. So there's going to have to be a serious way of filtering the 99% of shit out of the way. But the good stuff will always come through. I think So my prediction is that with technology and apps, what else was I going to say? Do you know? I'm not sure. Like with this whole AI stuff, man. Like I see so many people using it just for Facebook posts, for everything, for their marketing campaigns, for the ad copy, and this like you can instantly tell. Like everyone can instantly tell. Oh, it's AI. I don't know whether you're like me. The second I read an AI post, it's gone. Nixed it.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Do not give a fuck. And it's like there's going to be more content put out than ever before, because now anyone can make anything, right? Like I see people making music with AI, fully AI. It's just soulless slop. I see people. Yeah, there's just so much, and it's going to basically be like a tidal wave of content coming up this year.
I personally think that AI has a use.
Oh, it definitely.
I got into an argument. I know, me getting into an argument. Shock fucking horror. I got into an argument, not an argument, but like a back and forth on Magicians Only, the Facebook group, because I talked about AI, and there were some people that came back and went, AI slop. I would never use AI. It's taking over people's jobs and so on and so forth. And I personally think that if you're smart, there's ways of actually using AI.
Yeah.
Within their bit. So a couple of ways that we've used AI, for example. I've spent the last year working with AI to systemize our business. So I've looked at everything within my business and I've gone, right, okay, this is how my business runs. How can I streamline it? And I've done some really fucking complicated stuff. Like we've created systems that sync up things that shouldn't be synced up. And normally I would have to pay thousands to a developer, but I've literally worked it through with ChatGPT Pro, and I've been like, right, okay, so now I need to do this. Right, okay, we need to use this platform. We need to do this. Great. Can you create the code for me? Yes, you can. Great, that's worked. Now we need to do this. And now I'm saving so much money because I've systemized so many jobs within my company, and I never would have done that without AI. That's an example of how it's used.
You should use it as your calculator, not as your paintbrush.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? That's the way I see it. And I know some people are going to lose jobs, but that's the way of the world. Like the job industries has changed so many times over the decades because so many things become automated or advancements. You've got to just get with the times and look at yourself and think, shit, is my job under threat here? Should I be retraining in something else? And if the answer is yes, then do it,
Yeah. I remember when Photoshop first came out, and artists were stressing out that Photoshop was going to take over their jobs. And it hasn't. All it's done is that the best designers, people like Phil Smith, use Photoshop, but it's not the only tool. They've learned it as a tool along with other tools. Do you know what I mean? It's like, people are like, oh, we're going to get rid of jobs. And, somebody said to me, oh, if you design something on AI, it means that, there's artists out there or there's designers out there that are going to lose their jobs. I'm like, nobody gives more money to Phil Smith than me. I'm pretty sure at this point I've put his kids through college. I'm never going to stop using a professional. There's no way AI is going to be able to replicate what Phil Smith can do. But if there's a designer out there that's genuinely worried about AI taking over their job, well, then you need to fucking up your game, son. Because you should never be in a situation where you're worried about AI taking over your job, because you should be able to say.
I think with designers there is a bit of a caveat to that though, and I've seen this. There's a guy on Instagram. who's been for the last 12, 14 years making digital art. And it's fantastic art. And then now Instagram flags their work as AI content, and he gets shat on, and he's a successful like 6-figure business for over a decade, and almost overnight he can't sell his work anymore because he gets accused of AI. And there was a big case study on it. And yeah, so there are people that are going to be on the fringe elements of it that are going to suffer the bad consequences to it. And I do think the design industry is one of the ones that is going to get adversely affected because, like you're never going to not use Phil Smith and professional designers to do professional work.
Yeah.
But there are people out there, 1 million people, 10 million, 20 more that are going to go, fuck it, I can do it 90% as well. And in some cases, AI does a better job than some designers, than a lot of designers.
Yeah.
Which is really tragic, but they do need to up their game. So, but for me personally, I don't use AI. I have a moral stance on it that I won't use AI in an artistic sense. Nuts and bolts, calculators, stuff, putting it through analytics, phenomenal. And it's what for me it's best at. But there's a no-go on the artistic sense. I've used it to clean certain things up, like to help me remove like certain parts of a photo, or like to make but that's built into our phones and Photoshop now anyway. Like if for example, if you take a photo of the sky and there are lampposts and wires in it, then in Photoshop you would just use the brush tool that would magically remove it. And now they have like the generative fill feature. That's AI. Essentially, I use it. The closest I get to using it for art is in like that kind of sense. But in terms of professional work, then it's just nah.
Well, the biggest piece of advice I can give any professional, semi-professional magician that's got a website is use something like ChatGPT and turn around to it and say, look, this is my domain name. I want complete and total brutal honesty. Look at the website, critique it, tell me what's good, tell me what's bad, and then give me a 10-point action plan of how I can improve. And I do that on a very regular basis on our websites. And even though I pay a company a lot of money to do the SEO on our websites, I am constantly tinkering with stuff myself. And I use that. You can use competitor analysis with ChatGPT brilliantly. You can have it analyze markets, and you can have it analyze and look for opportunities from a marketing and a social media point of view. If you struggle to post on social media and you're a professional magician, you can very easily get AI to create a content calendar for you. It's not creating the content, it'll research what's going on in your space. If you're a wedding magician, it'll research if you say, look, I'm a wedding magician in Birmingham, I want to stand out on social media, analyze all the other wedding magicians in Birmingham, and then create me a content calendar for the next 30 days of what I should be posting and how often and how regularly, and tell me the type of stuff I should be posting. That's for me how you use AI correctly.
Yeah,
not creating the content on there, but saying, right, okay, first day, do a testimonial video or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
It's about taking you to a certain point and giving you like foundations and bricks, but then it's about you being creative. So for example, if I was you and I said, okay, Craig, there's weddings coming up in April, you need to start advertising for them now. How about using the theme April showers in your video? So then I'd be like, okay, and then that's it. That's where AI is taking me to. And then I go, okay, April showers as the theme for a video to hook people in for April weddings. I'd say, okay, I'm going to do a magic trick with an umbrella, maybe cocktail umbrella, and say, hey, if you're getting married this April and you need a magician for your wedding, why not hire me? I also come with the April showers special, just in case there's rain on your wedding day. Or I don't know. I'm just freestyle, whatever. But that's where so I would say I would let it take me up to the theme or something that could be an interesting hook, and then I would create the actual meat of it.
Another example is one of the most popular videos that I do on my channel, Magic TV, is the 5x5s, where I do a list of 5 things. And at the beginning of November, I said to ChatGPT, I gave it a very long prompt about what the 5x5s are and what they do. I said, give me a list of 100 topics that I can talk about that can be broken down into 5 lists. And it gave me 100 topics, and I went through and I was like, that shit, that shit, that shit. Oh, that's a really good. I'd like to listen to that video. That shit, that shit, that shit. And then it said at the end, do you want me to script out those any of these? And I'm like, no, I fucking don't. There's no way I want you to script it out. That's what I'm going to do. But thank you for the fucking brilliant idea, because now I can look at that and I can come up with what I'm going to say about it myself. But it gave me the idea. It was like, right, why don't you do a
There's a
video
good
now?
YouTuber, really good YouTuber. Well, he's not a YouTuber. He's a marketer. I don't know what the best way to describe him is. Yeah, he's, I suppose, marketing, but script writer, really. His specialty is script writing and funneling people. And what he does is he will dictate his, so he'll open up an AI chatbot, ChatGPT or whatever, and then he'll just deliver his video with a dictation button on. So say you're going to do your 5x5. So you say, hey guys, welcome to today's episode of 5x5. I'm Craig Petty. Let's jump into it. Right. First thing I'm going to talk about is, and he literally just runs through half an hour of the video, whatever it's going to be. Then he asks the chatbot to transcribe it. And then he says to them, can you reorder my script in a way which take what I've delivered and reorder it. He teaches. So he says, and reorder it in a tutorial friendly sense so that everything is, it basically just restructures it in the right optimum way and then puts it into like categorized bullet points that are easier to follow. It's a much more manageable thing. So it uses everything that he says, but it restructures it or repositions the points in it. So basically he just goes, this is everything inside my brain, boom. Can you now just categorize it and structure it? So everything that then when he reads his script or follows his guideline or his loose script, his talking points, that it's in a much more smartly delivered sense, you know. So he'll talk about like maybe the more interesting stuff it'll say, well, this is the most interesting topic, put that at the end, and then talk and then allude to it at the beginning as your hook to keep people watching throughout the entire video. Whereas he may have just delivered he may not have even mentioned, oh, at the end, I'm going to talk about this really interesting thing, you know? So it does that. So it takes it, you know, and that's an interesting way of using it. I don't personally use it like that. I don't really script any of my videos, but yeah. So in that sense, it's good. And look, it's either, I say this, and I've said this about a few times in the magic industry, and almost every single time it's rung true. I remember when people were kicking off about apps. Apps are not going to be the future of magic. People are not going to use apps. My theory was you either get on board or you fuck off because it's going to happen. When people years ago, I mean, it's hardly anything now, but there used to be a big backlash against teaching magic, not exposure, but just even teaching of magic online. And my attitude was, you fucking get on board or you fuck off and be left in the dirt. You either encourage people to teach the right way, or you get left in the archaic view mindset that you have. And sure enough, it was true. Yep. And it's the same with AI. Get on board with it the right way. Don't just stand there complaining about it. You ain't putting the fucking feathers back in the pillowcase. Right? It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So you either get on board with it and you try and steer the ship and your people the best way you can. Say, look, if you know, instead of complaining about AI, say, okay, I'm going to tell everyone who'll listen to me to use AI, but morally the right way. Don't use it for art. Don't use it for anything, you know, use it as your bricklayer, use it as your electrician, as your calculator, as your nuts and bolts. Don't use it as your architect. Don't use it as your painter. Don't use it as your songwriter. So you can do it that way. And if you can get more people on board like that, you know, if somebody's out there actively using their energy to talk shit about it, turn that energy into a better driving force.
Yep, 100%. Yeah,
I think.
I agree.
Yeah, but you dude, what about you mentioned Oz Pearlman earlier? Have you seen the videos surfacing about him getting into trouble for pre-show and doing stuff?
Doing stuff, yeah. Is it the I've seen quite a lot of them. There's a lot of shit going on about Oz Pearlman at the moment. Which one are you referring to specifically?
Well, in general, I'm talking about. I think one prediction would be potentially the downfall of Oz Pearlman's meteoric rise to fame. He's another 20-year overnight success.
Yes.
We heard that about Pokemon Go, the 20-year overnight success. Like behind the scenes, we all know Oz Pearlman, as in like we've watched him from afar, grinding. 20 years at least, just grinding, doing good stuff. Now he's hit that point where overnight he's a household name. And almost as fast as he's landed in people's living rooms, he is being called out or exposed for his tricks.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a big problem. I think that we could see. Yeah, I think.
You remember that moment on TV where that guy blew the paper and the talk show host? Ironically, that guy, because we were talking about this earlier, nothing to do with Oz Pearlman, but ironically, that guy, what's his name? Who used to make pencils move, and it was exposed that he would just go and blow them.
Oh yeah, and James Randi is the guy that exposed.
Yeah, well, that guy went to prison for being a paedophile.
Not James Randi.
No, not James Randi. Although, wasn't there some controversy about him?
I never heard of any controversy about him.
Didn't you watch his documentary? And he was like, James Heydrich. And yeah, I'm sure he went to prison to exposures for child molestation. Yeah, 17 years he was sentenced to. There's that famous clip online. He was the guy all around the world. He was moving pages of the pages of the telephone book with his mind and making pencils.
I remember that.
And the secret was he was just blowing them. And I mean, now it's a classroom trick that almost every child around the world does at some point to have fun with their friends. Well, very quickly overnight, that James Heydrich, before he went to prison for being a child abuser, he went from being a household name and regarded as somebody who was doing it for real to a laughing stock especially because of the way he handled the exposure online on air. He kicked the table over and stropped off, and I don't know whether not the illegal shit that James Heydrich did, but I don't know whether this is going to happen to Oz Pearlman, whether someone is just.
There's a lot of people that are out to get him. The magic community don't like him because of him pretending that there's so many people in the magic community that are hating on Oz Pearlman at the moment because they're saying, yeah, it's a big thing. I did a video on this because basically he's telling people that, what was the word that was being used? He's monetizing on a skill that he doesn't have. So he's telling people that he has this human lie detector thing and he can detect people, and now he's writing books about the subject. And now he's writing books for lay people, teaching them how to use these same techniques in business to get ahead in business, which...
But he's not actually using those same techniques.
Which he's not using those techniques.
He can't.
Yeah, he's not using that. He's using electronic methods. We all know that. And people are saying he's profiteering from that sort of thing. So a lot of magicians are really upset about that. But then you've got like people that are like making YouTube videos exposing him that aren't even magicians. You've got people.
News anchors and talk show hosts.
Yeah, you've got news anchors that are like, this is bullshit.
They're not exposing him. They're just saying, well, he told me to write my PIN number down on this piece of paper. After he spent 10 minutes going on, you've never told me your PIN number that you've never written down. And they go in, oh, yeah. And yeah, I forgot about the angle of him trying to sell what he's doing as real to help lay people. That's kind of shitty.
It is
shitty. It's oil. It's snake oil.
It is very, 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 very shitty. It really is. And do you think he's gonna go down for it? Do you think it's like gonna? Because the problem is, the problem is he's very successful as a corporate mentalist, but he's if enough people online and on TV are calling him out for his bullshit, that's an issue.
Yeah, I think, because the thing is, there's the power of the internet now as well, and yeah, I just think that possibly the book stuff is fucking. If that's what he's doing, because I don't know what's in the book, I haven't read the books. He could be saying, "Look, everything I do in terms of revealing people's PIN numbers, I'm going to be honest, I'm using magician methods to do that." However,
he's not saying that.
Are you sure?
Well, from everything, I've not read the books myself. I've not been to
Neither
his
have I.
seminars. He's doing seminars as well about this whole thing. And you can, reading what is being said online by magicians that have seen it and read it, they're going, no, he's just making this shit up. He's just
Yeah,
parroting.
reselling. That's not cool because somebody might take a piece of that information and go, right, I believe this guy. I trust him. I've
Yeah.
seen him on TV. I'm going to use my life savings. I'm going to set up my business based off what he says. And they're going to fucking lose it all because he lied to them.
Yeah.
Does he give a fuck? Don't sound like it. Sounds like he's probably going to. He's a very intelligent bloke.
He is.
I would imagine he's very morally aware that what he's doing is wrong.
Yep.
He's probably very aware that this might be his 15 minutes of fame. He might be right in the middle of it. He might be on minute 7 right now. He might be thinking, get what you fucking can. Make 20 mil and fuck off.
Yep. Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that's his mindset. I know I haven't got much time left in the limelight before the sun sets on this 15 minutes, like the real money-making era, Like even like most successful musicians and bands will normally have one hit and that's like their peak, and even afterwards, if he's probably thinking, get as much as I can out of this moment, and he's doing it the wrong way.
He is, because he's fucking the entire industry over. Because we talk about stuff that's affecting mentalists. If he's exposed on national TV, like, pre-show is going to be a lot harder to do for any mentalist.
I actually love this kind of scenario as a creator because I think like people complain so much about paper money turning into polymer bills. Fucking best thing ever. It forced magicians to stop doing the same tricks as everyone else, and it forced magicians to get creative. In my lecture at Blackpool, I show a bill change, one that I created myself, and I say this is probably not as good, depending on who you ask, as Extreme Burn. But you know why it's better for me? It's because, apart from like now, if anyone does it, but you're not going to see another magician doing my bill change until it's taught to you. And that's because I created it. And I think the worst thing that can happen as a magician is that you give someone a moment of magic where they think it's real, or they're like, wow, that seemed like he just took his bills, he changed them into money. He's a magician. There's nothing worse than them going online or on TV or on YouTube and going, oh shit, every magician does it. Oh, okay, I guess it's just something they all. That's, to me, it makes you just look like you're just a cover artist.
Yeah.
Right? So it's the same with things like this. It would be embarrassing if he was doing the methods that I was using, and then suddenly I can't use that anymore. I would see it as a point of good. I would go, right, what happened? What was a pain for him? Well, that host on the show pulled out her PIN number on it, which she did. She said, no, I wrote my PIN number down on this earlier, or whatever the way was. Because the other thing you're in trouble for, he actually revealed their real PIN number on here, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah, he did.
Dickhead.
Yeah.
What a fucking dumb cunt. Stupid fuck. I'm a massive fan of, up until that point, of Oz's previous work, Penguin Magic, especially days. But if you say I'm not going to reveal your PIN number and you fucking do on air, you're a dumb cunt.
Yeah.
But I would go, right, okay, I would use that to my advantage. Like Darren Brown using the video of all the people getting the spike wrong. I would say, I'm a mentalist, but I'm not one of those bullshit artists. I'm going to reveal your PIN number, but I'm not going to actually reveal it or whatever. And I'm not going to, look, this is a magician, this is a mentalist who says what he's doing is real, but then they called him out. So what I want you to do is think of your PIN number. Don't actually ever fucking write it down. And now I'm going to reveal it. And I would use that as my scripting, these are my must-haves in my routine. And if all films out there is actually doing disservice to other mentalists, like, when the masked magician come out and magician's like, I'm going to lose my livelihood. He's exposing all the things I do in my show. Oh, get a new show. Create something. Yep. Hey, if you can't create, because not everyone creates, pay a consultant their dues and have them create something just for you.
Yep.
It doesn't use any of the methods that have been exposed. And by the way, those methods on the masked magicians were like centuries and decades. I know not all of them, but a lot of them was the bottom of the barrel, the old shit.
Yep.
Although there wasn't something that was new, so I'm probably gonna get flamed for that. So I'm away. But yeah, every time I see this, like when something becomes public domain, essentially, when a method becomes public domain, like for years, this vanish was probably the vanish that every card magician did until at some point it became public domain, right?
Yep.
Create a new one, find one that no one else is doing. Now you're in blue ocean territory for the next 50, 20 years.
Yep.
Don't complain about it. Don't get mad, get even. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Fucking hell.
Yep.
I always see these things as a positive.
Yeah, totally agree. Which is why, and I don't want to make this about your product, I really don't. It's why I stopped doing double cross. Because I got to a point where I was going to gigs and people were like, I was like, hold your hand out, and I was drawing a cross on my hand, and people were like, oh, it's going to be in my hand, isn't it? Like every fucker was doing it. So now what do? I do Lux, because nobody fucking does that routine on Lux, and it's fucking incredible. It's so fucking good. It's better.
Thank you.
And it's different, and people don't expect it. So yeah,
There is going to be a point where it's because it's like a lot of people have Lux, like a lot. It might. I don't think it'll ever be. I think double cross was like a phenomenon. I know it's a phenomenon in terms of like sales, but it will probably become a point where too many magicians are doing it, and maybe one or two people might be like, "Oh, I saw another magician do that." But at that point, I'll pivot and do a different version.
Yeah, exactly.
For me personally,
yeah,
and that's the beauty of magic is that like. And everything. I think almost so many things are net positives. If you look at if you change your mindset to the right way.
Yep.
So yeah, Oz Pearlman being called out. I mean, did James Hydrick, when he got called out for blowing things, did that ruin magic and mentalism? No.
Nope.
Did Master Magician ruin magic and mentalism? No. Nope. Did Penn and Teller teaching magic and exposing magic on the TV show ruin magic and mentalism? No. Are we in a golden era of magic mentalism? Fuck yes.
Yes.
So if you're one of those people that think it's just the end of days for magic because somebody like Oz Pearlman has fucked up on TV, then you're the people that gets left in the dirt because somehow magic has collectively gotten to a better place than it's ever been without the naysayers just constantly shitting on it. Do something about it. Somebody would have saw James Hydrick get exposed on TV and gone, right, I need to make better methods or my performance is stronger. And then the lay people that saw that person went, oh shit, I thought magic and mentalism was hokey, but this guy just did something amazing.
Yep.
I now think it's cool again. And I think it's better than it was. And that's what happens every single time. Every time magic is exposed or somebody does it bad or an injustice within to the lay people, somebody goes, I'm going to right that wrong. And I'm going to make sure that wrong doesn't happen again. And then the next time lay people see that magician, they go, fuck, actually, everything I thought, all the preconceived notions I had about magic because of that dickhead, I was wrong because that's fucking dope. In 20 years, somebody might expose him or that, you know what I mean? And it's just about constantly trying to be better. So I love it. I love it when someone fucks up like that. Yeah. Because it means we have to work harder to push the boundary to make it better. We have to fucking repair
it. The other part to that is, the double lift is something that lay people will know of. You'll go gigging and they'll go, oh, is that they'll talk about double flips and stuff like that. But if your technique's good enough, it doesn't fucking matter. You'll be able to do a double lift, a triple lift, a quadruple lift, and they won't recognize that as the move that they think they know. I remember going up to a group, and I've had this happen many times, where they go, oh, I know how to do a trick with making a handkerchief disappear with a plastic thumb. And then I do $100 bill switch using the same fucking method. And they don't fucking put two and two together because they haven't got the knowledge. They don't know. They don't know what they don't know. Right?
I've told this story before on my channel. I was performing to a friend of mine. I was quite a well-known darts player. And this is like 10, 15 years ago. And he called me out my double lift. He said, you got two cards turned over. I was doing the ACR, right? He said, you got two cards turned over there. I was like, so this is literally what I did. I was like, because it was on top of the deck like that. I was like, what? Oh, fuck, yeah, sorry. Okay, look. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. Right. One card, you take one card, it's going to go into the middle of the deck. Okay? And now it comes to the top. But I don't know how. And then I just did 3 different phases with just using one card. So I controlled it. I did a pass with a visual face-up version. And then I did Garcia's Fallen.
Brilliant.
So I was like, oh yeah, sorry, I made a mistake. The moral was to have, if you are going to get called out, have backup methods. I used to talk about this a lot because of that interaction that I had. But yeah, I got called out on my double lift. So then I made sure I did more fooling phases without using a double. And then you just snip away the method and now it's better.
Which is why I fucking love reading books and collecting methods. Just because the more read you are, the more well read you are, the more it's kind of like being Batman. The more shit that you've got in your tool belt, the better equipped you are to get out of any situation. I see, a lot of people rushing out and only having like 2 or 3 routines that they can do really well, and they have a very limited experience of anything else. And it's like, well, you're going to screw yourself over at some point because people will call you out, and if they do, you're not going to know what to do about it.
Yeah, there's so many examples of ways to. I think about almost everything that I've got. Almost every single trick that I do, I know multiple. Mainly because I explore so many versions or create so many versions before I settle on something, and I'm testing. So I end up testing different methods, which means I generally know different methods. But yeah, like every single thing that I can think of that I do, I have a backup for. Even as far as like because one of the most used gimmicks that I use is a lock-in coin, a 10 pence 2p coin unique, 2p coin unique. So if I do a coin vanish with sleight of hand, and then someone says, "Oh, I know that my friend does it," or "I've seen this in school," I'll say, "Oh no, that's depending on who I'm talking to. Maybe I'll say you're right. That's I'm going to show you the difference between sleight of hand and magic." Or I might say, "Oh no, that's not what I did. Let me slow it down for you. Let me slow it down. In fact, we'll use more coins." Depending on, I'm either going to like pivot in one direction or not. But then I'll get the coin shell out and be like, "Look, no sleight. I'm not going to false transfer. I'll take one out, or I'll take out the 10p or whatever, and say whatever it's going to be." But now those are two conflicting methods that overwrite each other. One was sleight of hand, one is a gimmick. And I think, this is like the 101 shit to me. This is the basics. I think most people listening think along the lines of this. So it's not like I'm just gilding the lily. I'm not coming up with anything genius. It's just saying that, like, you've got to be prepared to pivot. Like Ross Geller and friends.
100%. However, slightly changing the subject, but I'm going to transition into this in a really cool way. Talking about destroying the magic community and magic in general, I have some breaking news that's happened while we've been having this conversation. Yeah. And this has been sent to us by our friend from Malta, Gwilliam Bajaya, who you should follow on social
I know
media.
William.
Amazing. Yeah, OMG Magic. He's fucking
William.
Yeah, Gwilliam. Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah. Fucking great. He says, "Welcome, say hi to Lloyd for me, and don't fuck kids." So there you go.
Standard.
Do you know that Sans Minds is officially back?
Yeah, I think, Rich Relish sent it to me.
Have you seen the link?
I just seen like a little, the one I seen last week was like a little top secret, but coming back soon sort of thing.
No top secret, full on website. Let me put this into the chat. If you guys want to see what's going to destroy the magic community.
This is the worst day of my life.
Just go to shop.sansminds.com. Sans Minds Magic. File 1, Sans Minds is back. That's their blog, an article. Here we go. Sans Minds is back. Let me read this to you. Sans Minds is back. We return the only way that aligns with our new standard by providing the data, the community support, our early research for years. And now, as the doors of the creative lab reopen, we are establishing a bridge between our history and the craft's future. The proving ground. The Sans Minds Creative Lab was always our primary research facility. It was the space where theories were tested, refined. I love
how this is written by AI.
And pushed until they achieved organic utility. Those experiments defined an era of the craft. At our peak, we maintained a candescence of one deployment every week. To this day, that level of creative output remains the industry benchmark for execution and real-world impact.
Oh, it's so stupid.
The silent period, and then the lab went quiet. For 5 years, our operations expanded into high-stakes environments of television and global production. We engineered wonder for international brands such as Google, Sotheby's, Tudor, Reebok, Alibaba, and TikTok, and many others. From broadcast stages to large-scale campaigns, our work reached millions and illuminated Times Square. Through it all, the core science of deception remained our primary focus. These global experiences did not distract us from magic. You want to know how to use AI badly? You're hearing it right now. They sharpened it. They expanded our perspective on what is possible when precision is the only requirement. And now the archive. The lab is back online. To facilitate this new era, we are declassifying the archive. We're unlocking the complete catalogue created under the original Creative Lab. These were once paid acquisitions. Now they're accessible as foundational data. Full performances, complete technical teaching, no edits, no holding back. The schedule, from now until the new year, we are decrypting one file every 24 hours. These are being added to the archive daily. After the holiday season, access remains open as we continue to reveal the full history of the lab until the archive is fully unlocked.
I'm bored, man.
And then finally, the future. Two brand new files are currently in final collaboration. Until their arrival on the 1st of January 2026, the archive is open. This is an invitation to study the work, reconnect with the science, and prepare. Credential verification is mandatory. A normal one-time US dollar administration fee secures your permanent access to the archive. We have spent a decade defining the craft. We've now spent the last 5 years perfecting the science. Operations resume on the 1st of January, 2026.
That's today, then, for most people watching this. Well,
Yep.
what a shit start to the year.
That wasn't on my bingo card. And so the archive, looking at this, is effectively the tricks that they bought out. But I think the downloads now, I don't know. Oh no, I think it's like a membership platform because I'm looking at the archive that they've unlocked, and it says this content is for members only. If you'd like, you can subscribe now. Okay, and it's $1 to subscribe. I'm sure
Don't
that'll
do
go.
it, Craig.
Huh?
Don't do it.
I'm not going to. Don't worry. I would feel dirty. But I'm looking at some of their older stuff in this archive. Like I'm just looking at. They're calling it different stuff, but they've got the original trailers on there. But yeah, I mean, they're back. They're back, and I don't know what their intentions are. I mean, it reads really badly, honestly.
I think the problem was it was just desperation zone, like they said in the cell. You know, this we strive to put out one thing every single week. That's not the strive. That ain't the flex you think it is, bruh. That's not the flex. That's not the flex.
Mm.
Fuck me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, should they be allowed a second chance? I mean, they spent.
Anyone's allowed a second chance. Everyone's allowed a second chance.
Yeah, but are they going to change? Is it going to be different this time? Because honestly,
I think this is the third time they've come back. And are they going to do this the anonymous Sky member thing as well?
oh yeah, of course, Sky members obviously Sans Minds as well.
Sounds like whatever they've done to make money outside of Magic, is the wells run dry there.
Because here's the thing, right? If you left the Magic community and you were successful outside of the Magic community, why in the ever-loving fuck would you come back? If your goal is to make money,
because I think their goals are financially driven. I don't think because their goal is not to improve Magic.
No, never was.
So, yeah, connect the dots.
Shit. Wow.
The problem was every now and then they'd have one good thing.
Yeah, I tell
Then a
anybody
handful
that
of good
listens, the
stuff.
Vanishing Ring is fucking incredible. That Vanishing Ring box is great.
Mhm.
Their self-lighting Zippo lighter. I love that. I thought that was great. Two items that are brilliant. However, I can count on one hand the really good stuff. Silent, was it a Silent Assassin? The the sort of the magnet Sonata gimmick, one finger Sonata gimmick, Silent Assistant or something. That was really good as well. But the majority of the stuff was just pants. And the problem with it was it didn't do what they said it did on the trailer. That was the big issue. Like I never forget Egyptian Ink. I don't know if you remember that one. The effect was an anniversary waltz with coins. So you sign one coin, they sign another coin, they hold on to the coin that they've signed, and then you take your coin and the signature magically appears on your coin, and then you throw both coins into. You see in the demo, they then throw both coins into the spectator's hands to look at. That's bullshit. That can't be done. How the effect was done is there was a little round piece of acetate about the same size as a coin. So you signed one coin, gave it to a spectator. You then borrowed a coin and you loaded the acetate onto it. and then you had them sign the coin, but they signed the acetate, but it kind of looked a bit obvious, but you could maybe get away with it. And then you gave them the coin to hold on to, you stole the acetate, so they've not got a signature there. You then take the other coin back, and as you shake it, you align the acetate so the signature appears on there. So now you can show this coin with signatures on both sides, and the coin's got. But then you have that moment, which is kind of a shit method, because when the signature goes on your coin, they're going to want to look at it. And they can't, because it's held with a little piece of acetate. You can't even let them go near it. You can just say, look, it's on my coin. I'll put that away. But in the trailer, they didn't drop that coin into the spectator's hands, implying that the whole thing can be completely examined at that point. And, that's the sort of dodgy shit that they did all the time.
Yeah, that was the stuff every now and then there was good stuff, and yeah, I don't know. And that wasn't even their method to give out that Egyptian ink. It was Johnny Fox's, and I think Cody Nottingham even published it before they did.
But they didn't really care too much about that either.
Yeah. No, I remember the biggest gripe I had was lying in their trailers and their ad copy and editing their trailers to drop frames so it would look better than what it was.
Yeah.
So shit. And then the stuff they did to Nick Lawrence as well. So
yeah, they fucked him over, didn't they?
Because they kept trying to say that he created stuff while working for them, so he couldn't release it himself. And I know for a fact that he hadn't certain things. It was some of the stuff was new creations they were trying to claim as theirs, which is for another show really, because that's juicy. But yeah, so I maybe I'm jaded because I know more shit from behind the scenes about them. But not good.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, one, if they are back, if they've got a renewed focus on integrity and ethics, and two, if Will Tsai is still behind the whole thing, or if it's just been brought out. And is Will, for those of you that don't know, Will Tsai, who became most well known in the community for going on America's Got Talent and doing the Rose Act. If you remember the Rose Act.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah,
did they sell that in the end or something?
Yeah, they ended up selling it, and it was another one that was very disappointing. People bought it because it looks good how it was done on AGT, which is on a big stage with projection onto a screen behind him. But how many people are in that situation? People are buying this close-up pad to be able to do it in their close-up gigs, and it's obvious. If you've got people crowded around a table, they're going to see how this thing works. It only really works in the setting which it was done in, which is fine if you tell people that. But if you don't tell people that and you imply that it can be done in any situation, then it becomes an issue. But yeah, Will was the guy that headed up Sans Minds. I think it was his company, or you probably know better than me. But it'd be interesting to see if he's still involved in it, or if somebody else has bought the name. And
everyone deserves a second chance. They did a lot of shit things, which was a net negative for Magic overall. They did some good stuff. They put up some good products. I'd be interested to see. No, I'm not interested. I don't think. Oh, it depends. What are they coming back for? Are they coming back because they want to right some wrongs and try and do more net positive Magic, or is the well run dry somewhere else? And depending on,
but I mean, you read that thing that I just read, and it's very egotistical. We set the standards. We were the guy.
For me, they need to come back and be like, "Yo, we fucked up. We left. We did some self-reflection."
Which is what I did when I came back to the community and I started Magic TV. I was like, look, I've been out this industry for 10 years because I fucked up. I stole Bob King's effects and I put it out as my own. I did some really bad shit, and I felt the only way I could deal with this was leaving the Magic community. 10 years on, I've come back and I want to try and make up. And that's what I've been doing for the last 5 years.
You got to be honest. I think by coming back being like, we were the kings of the castle, when it's like, dude, you built it on a cardboard. Like, that's not gonna. They're gonna look, dude. They're gonna come back with the best trailers. They're gonna captivate a whole new load of beginners, and they're gonna get a whole new influx of money until people get and the first few releases will be good. They will be good. They'll make sure they're good.
Yeah.
And then once they've garnered some trust back, I don't, unless they've changed their ways, which it doesn't sound like they have, because they haven't come back and gone, fuck guys, we took a which we looked at what was wrong with the company. We looked at what was right, but we also looked at what was wrong.
Yep.
And now we're back. And then I would have taken time to actually write some real honest mission statements instead of using AI.
Yeah.
I get that English is probably not the first language, so you can have a bit of thing from that, but you would have just written it out yourself and then how to translate it.
Yeah. Yeah. And make it more heartfelt and self-reflective. But hey ho, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We will see. We will see. It's a developing story that I'm sure we will be listening to. I do have to say one thing, by the way. Of course, I know we're getting to the end. We've been doing this for about 2.5 hours. I know that you've got to shoot off at 11 o'clock. You've got a dinner to go to. I've got an illusion show to set up. So we've got to leave in about 10 minutes. We've got about 10 minutes left of this podcast. I do need to say, guys, I am really, really sorry, but please stop asking if I can get you into the Magic Podcast meetup at Blackpool. I have had, and I'm not exaggerating, 30 or 40 people saying, hey, I need to get into the Magic Podcast meetup. How can I do that? You can't. We're doing it at the House of Secrets, and there's certain fire regulations and capacity laws and God knows what. It makes it almost impossible to sneak people in when the tickets are off sale. I don't think there's anything I can do, unfortunately. I wish I could.
But it's open to the public after the event, isn't it?
So after the event, we're still going to be hanging out in there, and then at 7 o'clock, it's open to the public, and you just come in, and I'm sure that we'll still be there. But yeah, if the tickets have gone, which they have, they sold out in 10 minutes. There's nothing I can do about it.
But we'll have dates soon for the Magic Podcast.
We're dotting the I's and crossing the T's. I'm telling you, this convention is happening, and
what we'll do is we'll make sure we put up. Even when we don't have all the details fully ironed out, we'll put up an early bird link for everyone to get tickets so that people who are missing out on this, we should have put like a place for people to add their name to a mailing list or something for the
we should sort that out for next week. We should try and just do a little very simple data capture thing.
And then we can put up at least tickets to get people
register your interest, and absolutely we need to do that. We've been discussing lecturers. We're not ready to announce stuff yet. You told me the other day that you got approached by somebody who I think would be a fucking incredible lecturer, like who we never even went to. They kind of listened to the podcast and said, you know what? I would totally be down for that. You would be down for doing this? Are you fucking kidding me? Let me think for a minute. Fuck yes. So I'm excited about that one. That's fucking cool.
Maybe imagine that.
That's fucking cool. That's so cool.
I think they'd be the perfect fit, actually.
Yeah, they really would. They really would.
But we'd have to make them dress up. No.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, I got to ask you a question. You know him really well. I know Tobias Dostal's a close friend of yours, and I know you've helped assist a lot of tricks coming out with him in the last few years. Has he got some cool shit coming out this year?
I don't know. I'll message him and find out.
Yeah, I want to know. Find out the skinny from me, because Tobias is amazing. He's one of my favorite. I think it's going to go down in history as he will be on the Mount Rushmore. I don't think people really. I think people know how good he is, but I don't think they realize just how fucking good he is. And he didn't bring that much out in 2025.
Liquefy?
No, that all came out in 2024. The only things that he brought out is he brought Bottled Up out, which was good. The bottle thing.
Oh, yeah.
Which was really good, and the updated version of the phone thing. The Optics Pro. Yeah, Optics Pro through Henry Harrius. Outside of that,
what the key thing where the key vanishes?
Yeah, that was. I'm pretty sure that was 2024.
Well, I do know of some stuff that he's been working on. So.
Oh, good. And I had dinner with him at Magic Live. He was having dinner. I got invited to a dinner with Mandy and Sean from Penguin Magic, and Tobias, and it was the most incredible dinner date that I've ever had, because they were basically. I was just sitting there while he was talking through ideas that he's going to be bringing out with Penguin Magic, and he was just showing them at the table, and I was just like, what the fuck am I seeing? He's
a real magician. He's a real magician. We are just pretending compared to Tobias.
Fucking incredible. And he was showing stuff with a shot glass, and he was he's got like 5 or 6 things that are coming out with Penguin that are just fucking incredible. But
the shot glass that was cool as fuck.
well, that's fucking amazing, isn't it? But the thing that I'm most excited about is, I don't know if you know this, when he was over at Penguin, he filmed a Penguin live. He filmed the Penguin live.
Fuck off. Why you shouldn't be telling people this?
Oh, fuck Penguin. I filmed a Penguin live. I was when I was at Penguin, I was with Dalton, and Dalton was like, "Come here." I was like, "What?" And he took his phone out. He said, "I want to show you something." I was like, "What?" He's like, "The trailer for the Tobias Dostal Penguin Live." I'm like, "You've got that?" He's like, "Yeah, it's coming soon." I'm like, "Oh fuck!" And he showed me the trailer. I'm telling you right now, it's the best trailer that Dalton's ever done. It's just perfect. It's absolutely perfect. But this is going to be the greatest Penguin Live of all time.
It's gonna break the internet.
He doesn't hold back. This is going to be the biggest Penguin Live of all time. I guarantee it. So you heard it here first. I know of some stuff that's coming out with Penguin. I know he's got a Penguin Live coming out, but I know that he's working on so much stuff. I think he's a shoo-in for Creator of the Year next year. I really do.
Oh, every year. I don't know how you keep beating him.
People feel sorry for me.
They're going quality versus quantity.
Quality versus quantity. Look at Craig. He's going to be dead soon. Let's give him all the awards.
Yeah, the heart attack's going to happen. We keep saying it. We keep praying it. Right, I got to go. I have to go get some.
You got to fuck off.
Get in the shower.
You got to go. Okay. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Like we said, every week the podcast is back. I think we've proved that now on episode 5 of the new season.
5 or 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6. Even fucking doing it over Christmas and New Year when I'm busy.
If we're doing it over Christmas and New Year, we're doing it. We're back.
Absolutely. 100%. So don't forget to subscribe to your favorite podcasting platform, whatever that may be, because you can get them on all of them and on YouTube as well. But we'll be back next week with, and don't forget to join the official discussion group. That's becoming more vibrant. More people are going in every single day. I'm accepting more people into the group. There's a lot of discussions going on in there, which is amazing. Please join in there. Any questions, let us know. Next week, we'd like to do some readers' questions. So send them in to us. If you've got any voice notes that you want to send in, like last week, that would be amazing. We'll play them on air. And Lloyd's going to go and have dinner. I'm going to go and saw my kids in half. And we'll be back next week.
Said Jimmy Savile.
Wrap it up, Lloyd.
Have a shit year and don't fuck kids.
I fucking love it. Absolutely. Have a shit year. Don't fuck kids. We'll be back next week. I'm Craig. This is Lloyd. See you again.
We apologize for disrupting your normal daily schedule. You may now relax, tuck your deck back in, and resume your regular day-to-day life. Remember to subscribe to be notified the moment each new episode goes live every Wednesday. And join our Facebook group to continue the conversation. The link is in the description to this podcast. Thank you for listening to The Magic Podcast.